Drake, What Did I Miss? Copyright lawsuit dismissed. This is over the American's portrait. The photographer said Drake used it in that video without permission. Specifically, the pool scene where Drake was surrounded by the weaponry. Look, bro, the man dropped the lawsuit with prejudice, meaning he can't pick it back up later when he decides, you know what, I am still pissed off about this. You know what I mean? Look, they say Drake might have settled this behind the scenes. Look, nobody really wants to go to court. One legal victory, start something good, bro. Maybe another legal victory. It's probably on the way. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. He's already appealing the whole Kendrick Lamar, not like us, defamation lawsuit against UMG. It's something now, fam. If it wasn't, the lawyers probably would have quit a long time ago. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Juice Lord throwing shots at NBA YoungBoy. He said, why be working with the police?
I feel like why be working with the police? I know niggas with 3 DUIs can't get out of jail right now. You know what I'm saying? That nigga be committing crazy felonies and walking free.
Come on, man. He say pulling the wool over your eyes, fam. Everybody can see it. He's been getting out of jail on some of the craziest teams. You know what I mean? It might sound crazy to some YB fans, but y'all gotta understand, he got a presidential pardon. If that's not enough, fam, all hell Trump. He already told you what make America slime again means. That means, what he say? Enforce anything Trump says. You know what I mean? Look, he's been compromised. For sure. Yeah, for sure.
That's a real deal. They can explain to me how he keep whoop, where whoop. Come on, bro. That nigga pulling the wool over y'all eyes.
When you get out of jail, fam, and your life don't really flash before your eyes, so you don't change the level of music, the content of your creations, yeah, it might be something else. It's just behind. I don't even know Juice WRLD. So for a lot of people to say, oh, you just taking up for Juice WRLD. I don't know Juice WRLD. I only know Juice WRLD. You know what I mean? Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Durk accused of placing a $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo head. You know what I mean? Look, $1 million. You heard me right. His attorneys wanted to know what exactly did y'all have on him. They said they got proof that man put $1 million on Quando Rondo in his whole slide for buying campaign. You know what I mean? Look, bro, shit is getting sticky. You know what I mean? To say the least. I still think Smurfio is gonna come out this thing a free man, but I can tell you it's looking ugly. Yeah, it's looking ugly, fam. They claim they got somebody that's willing to testify and outline the whole plan and procedure. Durk, get your affairs in order, fam. Yeah, you get your affairs in order. Free Smurfio, they trying to put him under the jail. Just being honest, just being real, man. Drop it in the comments, but this thing is looking ugly. It's starting to look like it's gonna shape up to be something like YNW Melly case. You know what I mean? Yeah, this first one might be a mistrial. Hernandez go on throwing shots at YSL Woody. He say he didn't do Dolph. That wasn't him. But YSL Woody gonna fuck around and find out. Yeah, he say he gonna fuck around and find out. He say he better have Young Thug, Gucci Mane, and the whole 1017 Woody when they run into each other. Look, bro, Hernandez go on. I'm not gonna say you not who you think you are, but you gotta understand when they made one of you, they made many others. That's the best way, the most respectful way I can say that shit, bro. He's not scared, you know what I mean? This is YSL Woody we're talking about, fam. Fam not even, he ain't even got it all up there. All the screws aren't tightened, bro. So before you make a tread like that, make sure you're treading a nigga that really gonna take heed to the tread. That nigga don't hear that shit. He wants action, you know what I mean? All he got to do is prove himself one time, and he's gonna be forever in the game, stamped in, longer than 15 seconds. I'm just being honest, I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments, man. It's called from the Grapevine. Throwing shots at A$AP Rocky. He say that whole little spiel, he diss Rihanna, so he dissing him now. He say he making all the story, the whole story up for clout. To sell that Don't Be Dumb album. You know what I mean? Look, bro say he flew out to Yams Day, expected to perform. Since Rihanna was there, you sidelined him and made him watch the show from behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Never let him perform. He say, yeah, your problem started there. Even Rihanna told her, man, you was too insecure to let that happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what happened. Rocky. I'm sorry, bro. But this little shit you doing and what you got going on with Drake, to even speak about it and to think you moving gangster, quote unquote, this ain't that, bro. You should just left that in the closet. And to keep talking about that woman like my bitch, my bitch, my bitch, man, have some respect, bro. That's them kids' mama, dumbass nigga. Lame ass nigga. Kid Cudi throwing shots at Jim Jones. He want the world to know Jim ain't the reason he's him. Look, Jim Jones say he got Kid Cudi popping when he hopped on that Day and Night instrumental. And it blew up. It went viral. He said it was before people even knew who a Kid Cudi was. Kid Cudi said, look here, man. Motown was already grooming him, and Kanye was already looking to sign him. You know, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Jim had some shit going on back in the day, but ain't nobody was really listening to his raps. That was like some local shit. For a nigga to get popping from, I think, Cudi from Ohio, fam. It wasn't New York that did it. You gotta know that nigga was already tearing up his own territory. That's how he got on, bro. Hard work, determination, and most of all, patience, because it doesn't happen overnight, despite what people may teach. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, cause on the playground. Lil Pump throwing shots at J. Cole. He say for J. Cole to apologize to Kendrick Lamar, but try to eviscerate him when he wasn't nothing but 17. He say it's some pussy shit, bro. He say it's some pussy shit. He say Cole showed his split. At 17, he was trying to hang him. You know what I mean? Look, a lot of people don't know where this beef stems from, but Lil Pump was saying his generation was better than Cole and everybody else compared. He even had a song that said the title of it was For Cole. Never heard the record. A lot of people haven't. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But look here. He said he walked in Cole's house at one point, disrespected that motherfucker. Went straight to the icebox, ate all his motherfucking snacks, just to show him he was a little trio folk, little hoe. You know what I mean? Look, bro, you ate them children's snacks. You need Cole snacks. That was for them kids. You know what I mean? You should be ashamed of yourself, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You need your lab whoop for even saying some shit like that. Chad Hugo filed a fraud lawsuit against Pharrell Williams. Like, he's basically accusing him of lying about the income, the expenses, and the royalties. You know what I mean? He say just for their last album alone, Pharrell owes him at least $375K. You know what I mean? If he was gonna really get into it, he says well over $1 million. You know what I mean? He say Pharrell was doing bad business. Everything was supposed to be split, not two ways, but I think it was a three-way partnership. Look, Pharrell Williams, he doing big teams over there at Louboutin, but it looked like he might have fucked over his man. So let's just be honest, let's just be real. This is what it's looking like, man. Shout out Chad Hugo. I was a baby when they was out. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I know quite a bit about the Nerd Foundation catalog, but I never really met Chad. You know what I mean? I never really met him, but he was definitely a part of the legacy. Drop it in the comments, man. It's close on the playground. Lazy Bone throwing shots at Finesse2tymes. Look, Finesse2tymes say he did a freestyle to a Bone Thugs and Harmony beat, and they tried to charge him $40,000 to clear the sample. Lazy Bone responded. He said, for one, bro, if you want longevity in the game like Bone, you gotta pull yourself together and get off the drugs. Yeah, lay off the fucking drugs. Smack, whatever you're on. I think it's perk 40s, 50s, whatever going on. Yeah, that man be on the pill game. Despite getting locked up for this shit every other week, he can't put him down. They got control of him. Look, Lazy Bone say, put that shit down, man. Get you a team that's gonna help you navigate the business, and you might have a chance. But all that fuck shit you on, nigga don't grow up, you know, to get on no drama. Yeah, nigga trying to chill, man. Find you somebody to play with. You know this shit. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Lazy Baby, responding to these crazy ass niggas. I'm 22, got knocked out in the first round, fam. He ain't got nothing. I'm not surprised, man. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Jason Love whooped him. You know what I mean? I don't even think Adam 22 still. The 22 say even true upon. So let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Whooped him by a landslide. Now, I don't think it really takes anything away from Adam. Everybody know what Adam is and what he ain't. But I would have thought he would have did a little better, bro. Like, he's like making all the BMX riders looking super weak. I'm just being honest, just being real. Now, do I think he'll still give Sauce Walker, Alec, the blues? Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe. Yeah. Gusto be tripping, bro. Or a nigga don't know what's real and what's not with old Gusto. So we shall see, but next day we'll be in the ring. Adam 22 say he gonna take off on him. Man, I hope not until you learn how to swing niggas. Denzel Curry announces a new rap group with ASAP Ferg. Well, he's not really ASAP anymore. He doesn't answer to that. You know, it doesn't go by it. He's just Ferg. That's why ASAP Rocky say he ain't fucking with him. You know what I mean? He didn't understand it, but he don't want to be part of the bullshit. You know what I mean? They got a new group. Denzel Curry is the leader. It's Ferg, Tia Corinne, BK the Ruler, K Niata. Look, they go by the Skype. You know what I mean? Then make sure you say the Skype. You know what I mean? You gotta say it like that or you're saying it wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah, they go by the side. They're still solo artists with their respectable solo careers. But when they are together, they will officially, from this day forward, be known as the Skype. You know what I mean? They're paying homage to Southern rap and taking a subculture to the future, bro. I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for it. You gotta push the line and you gotta reinvent yourself. Now, and Ferg is dope. You know, Denzel, all of these artists are really dope. So I'm excited to see what they got coming. Drop it in the comments. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. I promise to tell the truth to the whole truth. So help me God. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments. Cross on the playground. Video foreign throwing shots at 21 Savage. He stayed in Maine. Ain't no street nigga. That's how they said in Atlanta, street. He said the man ain't no really street nigga. You know what I mean? He's only street in Atlanta. He say real is real no matter where you go. Why you not respected on the soil? You know what I mean? The soil that you say you were so loyal to, why you not respected anywhere but Atlanta? That's what people don't understand, bro. Cause y'all think y'all real G's, bro, but y'all localized. When you so local, bro, you don't really know what a real G is, man. You got to put some soil beneath your feet, partner. You know what I mean? Real shit. You got to put some concrete beneath them Chuck Taylors, niggas, beneath them Air Force Ones, and really get out there and live to see with your eye. See if you can even survive among men. Look, shout out Fivio Foreign, because he has a point. 21 Savage, you just talking shit, nigga. I'm convinced. Tusi is no longer recruited to play football at Syracuse University. Look, if we being honest, bro, they broke the news like he was going to be joining the team as a walk-on. No. I think everybody had it twisted. He wasn't leaving the rap game to for sure go start or get on at the college team, especially not at D1 college. The coach just felt sorry for him, felt sympathy, thought the young man, deserved a shot to live out his dreams, so he was gonna give him a chance to come walk on. But he said right now, it's too many players. It's too many players coming and he ain't got no room for him. You know what I mean? So all that's done. Shout out Tusi, because it sounded good, but once the truth is, bro, once that star wide receiver say he wasn't coming because he wasn't trying to be part of no bullshit program, they had to rethink everything. You know what I mean? Shit, but Tusi got some game. Maybe flag football might be good for him. Kanye West never made money from his classic fucking hit, True to Wire. You know what I mean? I pronounce it as True to Wire. Some people probably say, what is True to Wire? I know it as, is he talking about Through the Wire? Through. I could say it's kind of different for me because I say True the Wire, but I could say through the wire. But look here, bro. Kanye West never made a cent from it. The original writers wouldn't clear it, but he was able to use it as a sample. You know what I mean? Look, man, which is crazy because anybody would have said, come on, man, get that man at least 20, 30%. He making that shit hot. Nobody really remembers the originator of a record when somebody makes the classic record out of the sample. That's like that Lil Wayne Lollipop. Nobody knew that was a song before then, unless you did. You know what I mean? But there's so many people in the world. Come on, bro. Shout out Kanye West, because he was able to keep going and make it through the fucking. T.I. earned $30,000 in 15 minutes, bro. They booked him for the Barclays Stadium, you know what I mean? Barclays Arena in Brooklyn, you know what I mean? Booting, yeah, they call him Bowie, bro. They say his comedy is shit, you know what I mean? They say his comedy is shit, but he said, guess what? He chose to do this. He could be making that bread, doing some other shit, you know what I mean? This is what brought T.I. out of retirement, hip-hop wise. Made him feel like shit, bro. When it start infecting you, yeah, they got a way of making you believe it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They say he booed that man off the stage in 15 minutes, but he say he ain't tripping because they paid him $30,000. You know what I mean? He said he played a classic T.I. song just to get him hyped, but he said, you know what? Hell no, I'm not performing for you ungrateful bastards, and left. As he should have, you know what I mean? Or just started the show performing. But guess what? The man say he's gonna be a comedian. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out T.I. Songs filed a lawsuit against the Kansas City Police Department. This is over his 2021 arrest. Look, he was getting heckled by a fan at the AFC Championship, the Chiefs versus the Bills. Cops came up, roughed him up. You know what I mean? He say the police assaulted him, illegally detained him, and did him wrong. He's suing for emotional damages, financial loss, wrongful arrest, and some other shit. You know what I mean? Everybody assumed that old Trigger Trey was just drunk. You know what I mean? It's just drunk. But if they never did a sobriety test on that boy, he got him a case. Look, somebody knows something. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Nigga ain't spoke about Trey Songz in a good way in a minute. But you going for your shit and you trying to get them people. I gotta salute it. You know, just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments, man. Assaulted a female comedian. I would say allegedly, but guess what? They recorded it. You know what I mean? Just be honest. Let's just be real, man. This nigga here trading jokes with the woman, only to find out that he can't take a joke. Once she started juggling at him, he got hot, fam, and punched her right in the shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people gonna laugh at it, but this ain't no laughing matter, fam, because a comedian that can't take a joke, it's just crazy, fool. That's just diabolical, fam. You sit up there, Lord ass, you fat bastard, and talk about everybody, bro. You tried to do Terrence Howard bad, nigga, but when the shoe was on the other foot, this is how you act. That's what they say, bro. Ain't no fun when the rabbit has got the gun. You know what I mean? Corey Holcomb, bro, you done. You finished. Pack it up and take your ass home. You know, just being honest. You bitch. Some white throwing shots at Michael Jackson. Look, bro, Michael Jackson got a new biopic, however you want to say it. I know everybody gonna eviscerate me for the way I pronounce it, but look, he got a new movie coming out, and he says it ain't gonna be shit. Why? Because you can't omit things and think that it's still gonna come out as real. Gotta be the good, bad, and the ugly. Now, when I say that, bro, he's specifically talking about all the allegations. We all know what he's speaking on. And yeah, we was talking about what them kid was accusing them of. Look, bro, it's a discussion that we must have. I know a lot of people think I'm trash talking Mike. Charleston White is trash talking Mike. And he's back to doing interviews. Just so y'all know, bro, he's just not on Say Cheese TV. But y'all gotta really see what LaToya Jackson was saying. She say, they daddy was sneaking in their room. Yeah, the daddy was sneaking in their room while they were kids, and he got Michael started. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground. Shout out Charleston White. Charleston White announces his return to YouTube. Look, he just made the announcement a couple weeks ago that he wasn't doing no more YouTube interviews. He felt like he was too big for the platform. Look, told Sean Cotton he's done. You know what I mean? Say Cheese TV, the owner. I thought it was Sean Cotton, but it's somebody else that works up there. You know what I mean? Works with him. Said, you know what? You can't come back. You know what I mean? Charleston White is now doing interviews with Terrence Gangsta Williams, which he was already doing the interviews, but Terrence Gangsta Williams has become his main guy. You know what I mean? He's okay. Terrence Gangsta Williams was better in front of the camera than behind it. The way he answers the questions, and it don't sound right. It just sounds funny. You know, it's just a funny guy. He's just a funny guy, bro. The most I can say about it. You know, interviews just, they're lackluster. But like I said, if you want to see Charleston White, he back. Yeah, he's there. You just gotta type him in. Search for him. Look, J. Cole Diss 2 Track 2 garnered over 5 million views in less than 3 days. You know, in less than 3 days. Look, everybody say that nigga tired. He ain't got it no more, this, that, and the other. But what y'all not understanding is real hip-hoppers understand the shit he's putting out. You know what I mean? This shit is creative and artistic as fuck. You have to measure the morals, principles that went into creating this track. You know what I mean? The morals and principles that went in creating this track. Not only that, the creativity, bro. The creative. Judge it off of that, bro. This is hard. That's what people don't understand, bro. Songs that everybody make, easy. Kendrick Lamar winning an album and album of the year, Grammys, all type of shit. And he was just sounding like somebody else. He just took somebody else's sound. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Drop it in the comments, man. We ain't gonna get into that. This is about Cole. Album is gonna be dope, bro. The Fallout. Says his last, but my nigga, we need you in there way longer than that. I'm just being honest, just being real. Hot boy Turk throwing shots at Juvenile. He say Juvenile is a liar and a snake. Juvie promised him $10,000 for 30 dates to go on tour with CMB. Cash money to Hot Boy. Look, he say, bro, 10,000, drill it down to 5,000, then change to 3,500. He say the man wasn't trying to pay him shit before it was done. Shout out Turk, fam, but why would you ever? You know what I mean? He's mad. Juvenile called him broke. Nigga, 30 fucking dates for $10,000. Come on, that just don't make sense, nigga. You can go work at the pipe yard and make more than that in less time. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But that's what's wrong with you. Scared to work, so you take anything. Birdman used to kiss y'all in the mouth. Now he didn't kiss Juvia, but Turk, BG, and Wayne got it. That's for sure. You was never supposed to go back. Drop it in the comments, fam. Scar's finna play gun. Drake throwing shots at NBA YoungBoy. Look, a lot of people might have missed it because he was dissing Kendrick at the same time, simultaneously. But the bars were meant for Contrell. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. YB was kind of tripping because when he FaceTimed Drake, he wanted to collaborate. Drake told him he fucked with Durk. Yeah, he fucking with Smurky, yo, fam. As much as he like him, he can't work with him. YB didn't like that. He said when he see him, he's a fucking enemy. Fuck all that. You know what I mean? Look here. Drake responded. He said, you young boys, take some of that money and set it aside. Not having enough money to pay your taxes is a federal crime. You niggas obsessed with me. And it's not on hetero vibes. Handle beef so quiet, you think that I set it aside. You know what I mean? Come on. This how Drake handled things. Look, bro, a lot of people didn't even know Drake had responded, bro. Shout out to NBA YoungBoy, but anybody can get it, fam. That's why I respect him. INW Melly announces new album. Yeah, look, bro, the man got another one. It's gonna be a combination of unreleased tracks and leaks. Might even do the Tory Lanez where they let him get his off from a prison phone call. He's kind of happy, bro. He secured one legal win for tampering with a witness, but they're still trying to prosecute him on that double homicide. They want to know what happened to Juvie and Sack Chaser. And now inquiring minds want to know, bro, was Sack Chaser really taking him? You know what I mean? Was it really some barbaric tree hunter type shit going on within that crew, you know, and Melly just snapped and just couldn't take it no more, bro. Inquiring minds want to know. On top of that, I want to know. I'm gonna just be honest with you, bro. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. You know what I mean? YNW Melly might have to tell or stay in jail. And it's just facts, bro. It's bottom line. Ain't no other way. Becomes the first rapper to earn 1 billion streams in 2026 on Spotify, bro. This is crazy. It's only the 21st. I know a lot of people probably been fucked up since the year started, so it might be the 30th for you, but let's just be honest, let's just be real. Today is not the 30th. In all actuality, it's just the 21st. Dude has grossed over 1 billion streams on Spotify. Yeah, it's not just commendable. It's historic, fam. Let's just be honest. In 20 fucking days, 21 days, I don't even think they counted today. Look, drop it in the comments. This is before Iceman drop. CD is gonna drop out March. March Madness. Why? Because I told you so, fam. Means I know more than you think I do, but you choose to follow niggas like academics. Shame on you. Shout out Drizzy, man. Shout out Drake. Famous Dix denies accidental overdose allegations. Look, bro. They say that police caught him, passed out in traffic, shaking, had ODing. You know what I mean? Them ain't say it never happened, bro. He uploaded a video saying his daughter called him to check on him because everybody thought it was true, bro. Dude is, I can't say he's sober. Can't speak on that. I can just tell you that he's doing a lot better than he was before. You know what I mean? That's obvious, bro. You could see that just looking at him. You know what I mean? Now, the effects of the drugs that he were doing, you can also see that too, but you could definitely tell he's getting better. So you know he didn't accidentally OD, and it wouldn't be no accident anyway. It wouldn't be. Nigga know when he's taking too much. Just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Score us on the playground. Staples, the Vince Staples show canceled by Netflix due to low viewership. Look, this is despite receiving great feedback. Look, everybody loves that show. It receives 94% critics, 88% viewers, watchers on Rotten Tomatoes, bro. But that doesn't account for what it should be making. You know what I mean? 1.5 million views for season 2 sounds like a lot, but that ain't shit. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Look, if he keeps going with it, I'm sure it'll land somewhere. Like other places be looking for shows, just not Netflix, man. Put that bitch on Tubi and see how it go. Yeah, put that bitch on Tubi. You know what I mean? Shout out Vince Staples, because a lot of people ain't doing it like that, bro. Even with Adam 22 signed up as an executive producer of season 2, still didn't go nowhere. Why? Who knows, bro? Maybe there's a lot of haters in the back, bro. There's a lot of haters in the background. They don't want to see you win, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna win. NBA YoungBoy Slime Cry album surpassed ASAP Rocky Don't Be Dumb. Despite seeing ASAP Rocky everywhere and having 1 million pre-saves, they say, for that album, married to a billionaire. And I know a lot of people say the money doesn't matter. The money matters, bro. The money is what makes your shit be able to sound better than anybody's. It puts you in the right rooms. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Look, it's only expected to sell 120,000 copies first week. NBA YoungBoy, bro, he's been locked up, putting out music left and right. All this other shit, all this new shit he putting out, it's new shit, fam. That didn't already out, so don't be dumb, bro. It's just what it is right now. You know what I mean? It's just what it is right now. ASAP Rocky took the wrong approach. He came out dissing Drake. Man, niggas ain't even worried about that whole ass shit no more. Let's just be honest, man. He did take my bitch. Man, you got her, bro. Nobody want her. And not to disrespect that woman, but she ain't even what she once was. You know what I mean? To keep it light. Charlemagne the God throwing shots at J. Cole. Look, he say that man is irrelevant in hip-hop. He's no longer the big tree. Matter of fact, it's no big tree. He ended that when he refused to feud, refused to go to war with Kendrick Lamar. Look, bro, these people are just talkers. they're in hip hop, but they don't have talent to actually create a song to do other shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be what he's saying is bullshit. Yeah, a nigga not listening to the same thing that's in Charlemagne, the Gods, iPod, phone, media player, whatever he's listening to his tunes on. Nigga don't jam the same shit as him, bro. That man lives a little different. Yeah. Type of nigga like his thumb in his arse. You know, I can't make this shit up. And nor do I want to say too much or speak about that man's personal issues, sexuality too much, because you know what? LGBT community watches this. Look, J. Cole is a rap god. Not the rap god, but a rap god. That's for sure. Drop it in the comment, put some respect on that main name. NLE Chopper collaborated with an NBA YoungBoy impersonator. Now, we've all seen him all over social media. The dude looked like a spitting image of NBA YoungBoy. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. But that only makes the situation worse than it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Why? Because somebody need to tell that boy what happened to the last NBA YoungBoy impersonator, the one that curved his feet and did all the little poses YB was doing, and everybody said it was YB #2. Came up missing, man. I can't make this up, man. Well, what you're doing, bruh, you walking a thin line. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. You walking through hell with glass slippers, you know, so to say. Drop it in the comments, but this ain't going well with YB. YB doesn't like him. Yeah, he don't like it whatsoever. When that team runs down on you, fam, you gonna be shocked. But I'm not. I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. K-Flock denies being victimized in prison. We're gonna stop it right there, bro. They say that man got the Tory Lanez treatment. They poked him up, you know what I mean? They say they poked him up. Left him in ICU. It wasn't looking good for him. Look, his lawyer came out and confirmed he just met with K-Flock. They filed an appeal for his 30-year sentence. He's doing just fine. Wasn't poked up. You know what I mean? You know how the internet do, bro. The internet takes shit and run with it. You hear the internet take shit and run with it. Now this man, 22 years old, charged with racketeering, attempted murder, firing that thing, all type of shit. You know, in 30 years, they gave him a YN package. We'll see what the appeal do, but I'm not really that familiar with K-Flock's situation to even speak on what may or may not happen. I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Gucci Mane denies being robbed by Pooh Shiesty. Look, Lantrell, he's not like that. Lonnie isn't like that. You know what I mean? I know everybody want Lonnie to be the boogeyman. He tied him up, took his watch, took his ring, demanded out of that contract so he can go over there and sign with your guy. Look, the FDO record was released under 1017. You know what I mean? Point blank period. Gucci Mane responded. He showed his ring, bro. He ain't got to say much. You ain't got to really entertain the foolishness, but you must say something. You must show a presence. And he did that, you know what I mean? Why? We don't even know if it's any internal beef there. You got to understand, Pooh Shiesty never picked a side. Just because he say he fucking with Gotti, he never said he didn't. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. I don't think there's no truth to this. Shout out Pooh Shiesty, but Lanell, you're not like that, fam. Let's just be honest, fam. Drop it in the comments, scores from the playground. This is me saying it. This is me saying it. I don't expect everybody to feel it because you're not like that. You know, just be honest. You're not like that. You're not from here. So why would you feel it? But I do. You know, just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments, scores from the playground, fam. Yellow Beezy requests delayed Moultrie murder trial. This is the murder for hire trial, the famous, infamous freeway incident that led to the untimely death of Moultrie. Look, bro, the man mama just died. He had to miss pre-trial last Friday. You know what I mean? Couldn't deal with it. It's a family tragedy. It's his mother, fam. It's his mother. I know a lot of people say, oh, yeah, stand for what you did, you know what I mean? And the man is planning to stand for what he did, but what he's telling you is that he need time to get mentally right. Not forever, you know what I mean? A week or two, 2-3 weeks tops. let's get the man through the funeral, bro. He's gonna face his charges, you know what I mean? But come on, my nigga. We don't know what y'all got on him, but to say he can't have this experience is crazy. Just being honest, just being real, man. Drop it in the comments. Cause from the playground. NBA YoungBoy professes his allegiance to protest. Yeah, he professes his allegiance to protest. In a new interview, they asked him, what does make America slime again means? He said that means enforce whatever Trump's applying. They say, what? Hey, what are you saying? He say, everything Trump is doing for the YNs is good for the YNs. You know what I mean? Now, YB ain't no YN. After you turn 18, bro, you ain't no young nigga. You are a grown man. You must learn how to survive among men. But that's not what he's trying to say, bro. He's just trying to show y'all that man is like any great American, and he's honoring his chain of command. You know what I mean? Now, it took a presidential pardon to get him on that side, but that's loyalty, bro. What did you expect? The nigga pardoned him, bro. It's supposed to be over for YB. Over for him. You know, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. YNW Melly witness tampering charges, have been dropped. This is a major legal win. He secured a win. You know what I mean? It's still not really looking good for your boy. But you gotta learn, bro, you can't really count nothing out. We don't know what happened in that situation. I don't know what Melly done. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real now. All fingers are pointing towards him. I'm just being honest, just being real, you know what I mean? And they say Sack Chaser was taking him. That's why he did that. As far as Juvie, he was just an innocent bystander. I don't know. But the truth will set that man free. Look, this is one legal win. He's been in jail, incarcerated for over 700 days. You know what I mean? Yeah, over 700 days he's been in there not knowing his fate, but they're trying to put Melly under the jail. Look, drop it in the comments. Can't say free Melly, but anything can happen. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Kanye West announces his first ever 2026 India tour. He's going to India. Look, in 2009, he was on a spiritual retreat. In 2012, he was in Mumbai promoting the Yeezy brand. They love him. They love him out there. Now, the Slovakia festival was canceled. That was slated for July 2026. They didn't want him for anti-Semitism and all type of other shit. They just not rocking with him despite the apologies. Look, the great Indian people are requesting Kanye come out there perform. He gonna do his thing, fam. It's gonna be a big, big year for hip hop. I know it feel like it was kind of dragging last year. It was just Drake, Kendrick. And nigga don't want to hear about that shit no more. You know, we got the Fall Off coming out. J. Cole got a new album coming out. You got Kanye going on tour. The Bully album dropping pretty fucking soon. January 30th. Everybody go check that out, man. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the playground. A$AP Rocky announces Don't Be Dumb World Tour. 42 dates across North America, Europe, and the UK. Kicking off May 27th at the United Center in Chicago. Chirac for the YNs, fam. Look, it's going down. He's gonna be in the States until July 11th, taking a quick break. Then he'll be hitting Europe and the UK from August to September. Final show in France at the Accor Arena, September 30th. You look, bro, A$AP Rocky is back. All you gotta do is put out the music and they gonna kind of forget that you were gone, that you were on a hiatus. Nah, the album is jamming, you know what I mean? Yeah, the album is jamming. When I heard him on that jigger sliding over that bitch, I knew he still had it. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out A$AP Rocky. I'm just glad he didn't delay that motherfucker again. You know what I mean? Yeah, the shit slamming. Shout out A$AP, man. Drop it in the comments. Digging Out though apologizes to Big Meech. Look, bro came out, had a hard ass song, Dope Boy Dreams. I like it, I rock with it, you know what I mean? But he made a mistake, and it wasn't a mistake to me. it was a mistake to him. You know what I mean? Why people start calling him out on it. He say the new Dallas was like the BMF. They was the new BMF. People start calling out on him. He couldn't stand on it. You know what I mean? He apologized. He had a talk with Big Meech to say he didn't mean it like that. He was just joshing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. He say he was just joshing. He's pushing positivity, not facts. Look, bro, you could say all that because your mouth didn't talk. Wrote a check your ass can't cash. You know what I mean? You done made it hot on the block, and that shit needed to stop. You know what I mean? Just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You thought y'all was the new BMF, and you thought it was cool, but you didn't realize everything Big Meech did made him an idiot. Got him caught. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Zillionaire though. Big Loon throwing shots at Birdman. You know what I mean? Look, Terrence Gangster Williams was saying Birdman is a real gang member, really in the streets, real blood member, man, really five. Big Loon say, and he don't give a fuck what he say. He don't see him like that. He see Birdman as an entertainer. He don't see him as a real member. He see him as a perpetrator that just acts and hangs with real members to make him look like he's the pot. You know what I mean? Look, Beatrice. There's a lot I could say about him, but the thing what people don't understand, the team people don't understand about gangs is it's not that hard to get in him. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was official after 2 years of banging. You know what I mean? It's just like a job, my nigga. Once you stay in it for a while, ain't nobody on this good old earth can tell you you're not who you say you are. You know what I mean? You are who you say you are. Now, whether he was kissing BG, Turk, that's some other shit. You know what I mean? But as far as being a real member, come on now, Big Loon. DJ Academics throwing shots at Whack 100. He's really calling him out for how he's doing Blueface, man. He say he double dipping with Blueface. He got Blueface signed to the label, and he's the manager, meaning he taking 50% of everything, and then he's taking 20% of what Blueface is making. That 70% is rerouted back to Whack 100. He say that man is a hoe ass nigga for doing cud like that. You know what I mean? Look, Blueface ain't never put 2 on 2 because Whack 100 always putting 2 on 10. You know what I mean? This ain't gonna end well. Yeah, this ain't end well. Maybe when Blueface got in the game, he didn't really believe in himself. You know what I mean? He was just happy to have the shots. But bro, doesn't end well. Why? Because you got a nigga like Blueface that's gonna prove himself. Yeah, he's down to prove himself, cuz he can't be getting fucked over by the B gang. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest, man. It don't sound good, but this is where we at now. Melly performing at Kid Rock the Country Music Festival despite criticism. Ludacris pulled out. Yeah, once shit got too hot, he was out. Nelly did not. You know what I mean? Yeah, Nelly didn't pull out. He don't care what y'all think of him. He performed at the inauguration ball too. Yeah, man, that man ain't tripping. He's gonna get his money. You know what? Industry ain't paying him worth of shit. If they wanna see him perform, who is he to turn it down? This is what y'all don't understand, bro. In the 60s, when racism was at its highest, you know what I mean, man? Black people would still perform knowing they wasn't nothing but the entertainment. That's what you gotta understand anyway, bro. You ain't nothing but the tap dancer of the night. You are tonight's entertainment. That's what you're paid for. Now, if you don't want to be a performer, and when it get hot, you gonna say, I am not, you don't need to be in that spot. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Give it all you got once you're caught upon. Just being honest, just being real. Lawrence going viral right now. Why? He's looking like that old Mighty. He lost 50 pounds, bro. You gotta salute him. Why? Because he was over 250. Yeah, over 250. Unnoticeable, fam. Unnoticeable. It was the good eating plus the psychiatric medication they had him on. Had him gaining weight. You know what I mean? Like I say, watching Bad Boys, what was that? Bad Boys 3, Bad Boy 4, wasn't the same seeing Martin look like that. You know, just be honest, let's just be real. And it wasn't just the diet and the medicine. He's obviously had a stroke. Well, look, he's making a comeback. Yeah, the man say he revamped his movie career, got some shit in development, in the works. On top of that, he's planning and plotting a nationwide comedy tour. We're going to see how that go. We're gonna see how that goes. The nigga jabbing at the air, acting like he gonna do something. So, you know what? I'm gonna give Marty Mart a chance, but they say he sucks. You know what I mean? Right now, comedy-wise. Michael Vick announces upcoming docuseries, The Coach Vick Experience. Look, it's premiering Wednesday, February 4, 2026 at 10 p.m. on BET. This is gonna follow Mike Vick's journey as he heads back to Virginia for the first time as a head coach at the Norfolk State University. He's going to be reigniting a struggling football program. You know what I mean? He's going to be learning the position in real time and building a team that's hungry for greatness. Look, we going to see how that works. Yeah, we're going to see how it works. But Michael Vick was definitely an incredible player. Yeah, them dogs fucked his career up. Let's just be honest, bro. He might have been a fucking Hall of Famer had he stayed in that bitch the way he was running that football. Now, if he could motivate at least one player to play like that, yeah, they could do something. You know what I mean? Probably gonna take them 2-3 years, but yeah, it's a work. It's a work in progress. Whack 100 doesn't believe Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci Mane. Look, they say they took him, held him for ransom, took his chain, took his watch, made him sign over Pooh Shiesty. He say he don't believe it, and I don't either. You know what I mean? Why? Cause Lonnie, he's not like y'all think, bro. Yeah, he's just trying to make him out to be the boogeyman. You know what I mean? Like he's just taking it and getting it back in blood. You know what I mean? Look, bro. If it did happen, we're just being hypothetical. If it did happen, you should have stretched him. You should have stretched him. Because like Wax say, y'all don't know the old Gucci. Y'all just know the new Gucci that's on the medication. If y'all would have got him, that would have been that one y'all got. But it never happened. Why? Lonnie isn't like that. Everybody know that. On top of that, if he did, the feds are watching and they're coming. They got everything y'all do is being recorded and phone tap. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores from the playground. Eddie Wap, Trap Queen, earned over 1.4 million Spotify streams in a single day, fam. January 17th was the most traffic this song has seen in years. Why? He just got out, bruh. On top of that, he got out on fire, bro. They say the main vocals, he don't even need auto-tune or nothing like that. He's singing his heart out, fam. And you could tell this man got out really motivated to do better. He's like the artist we didn't even know we needed, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. If you gonna do that shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, head to the studio, because he ain't with that old Max B shit, that old I used to be shit. Now, you could tell the man has been working and honing his tone, you know what I mean? Once you do that, bro, and commit to it, you're a true fucking artist, bro, and you're where you're supposed to be in the game. Finesse2tymes throwing shots at YSL Woody. Well, he's really responding. Look, YSL Woody had a problem with him saying he was gonna start a war with Thugger and everybody in Atlanta. He wanted to go get it in blood. You know what I mean? Look, Finesse2tymes has responded. He say, bro, that man has no talent. They are not the same. He not about to go back and forth with him. He say he leveled up off of telling he's gonna slap the shit out of him when he catch him. Called it meat checking. That's where I stopped. You know what I mean? Once he said that meat checking shit, that's when I know Finesse2tymes, bro. Ricky, he's on something. Ricky don't know what the fuck he's talking about, bro. Normal niggas don't talk like that. What do you mean you gonna meat check him? Well, you meat check him, but what does that mean, fam? A nigga can't rock with that, or a nigga ain't gonna even talk like that and just think it's cool. You know what I mean? That shit ain't cool, bro. What are you talking about? You gonna meat check him? You know what I mean? Finesse2tymes, you got to answer to that. TIP coming live from the VIP. Tip Harris announces his final album, Kill the King. Just dropped a single, Let Him Know, featuring For Real. Look, I really don't like the flow on this motherfucker. This is Tip. It's gonna take him a little while to get back in his bag, obviously, bro. But this is a comeback album. After 6 years, he's back. You know what I mean? He even cut off the dreads to commemorate the occasion. But like I said, this new single, it ain't leading me to believe his album is gonna be so dope. I'm gonna just be honest with you, fam. Wow, he sounds like LaMelo Ball. The way he's slurring and singing on the O's and the O's, you know what I mean? It's just, it don't sound like T.I. a nigga once knew. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. The nigga getting older, so maybe he think he gotta keep up with the young crowd. But stop tinking, fam. You stop tinking too much, fam. You just make the fucking music. Devontae Davis stripped of his WBA lightweight title. Look, bro, they say the man ain't nothing but trouble. He's a menace. With these new domestic assault allegations, they don't want him. That and inactivity. They say the man has only defended the title twice in the last year. He don't want to fight no more. Look, belts ain't everything. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Belts ain't everything, Devontae Davis, but you got to pull yourself together, brother. Yeah, you got to pull yourself together. What you don't understand is, man, you made it at the top of the hill only to go right back down because of personal issues, bro. It just don't make sense. I don't want to fight no more. But you're there punching on your motherfucking woman, punching on your bitch. You know what I mean? It just don't make sense, bro. Yeah, center your chi, find yourself, and get your ass back in that ring before you be forgotten. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Ain't no other way. Drop it in the comments. Shout out Javante. YSL Woody throwing shots at Finesse2tymes. He say that man talking about going to war with the city of Atlanta, tripping on Thug. Everybody, you know what I mean? But look, yeah, he say he should be worried about getting his girlfriend out of the motherfucking claim. You know what I mean? Hey, that's a valid point. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I think that's in a $500,000 bond. It's gonna take about 50 to get out. With connections, you could probably get out for 30. You know what I mean? Look, bro, I don't care if that's everything you got in your bank account or in your motherfucking pockets. You might even have to sell a motherfucking chain. It ain't no reason she should have been in there more than a day. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Especially when your foolish shenanigans is what got her in there. Now, you might have to go kiss the ring. You might have to go kiss the ring and apologize to J Prince Jr. for disrespecting Rap-A-Lot and Mob Ties. And maybe they could do something for you, but you're not looking right. Valid point. Shout out YSL Woody. Look, Blueface compares himself to Saucy Santana. The man say if Saucy Santana can do it, why can't he? Now, he cut off his dreadlocks, got him a perm, didn't get quite the same haircut as Saucy Santana. He ain't styling it like that, but he say, look, he gonna be him. You know what I mean? Everybody seen the prison poses where he was hitting the splits and doing a butterfly and all type of shit while he was in there. Now he didn't come out, got him a little perm, got his hair cut to the side, then he got the New Yorker. I think they call that the Tony Cutters. Yeah, the man got the Tony Cutters. And he just played with his BM, Jaden Alexis, and said he was gay. Look, after community strike, I ain't got nothing to say about that other shit. You know, LGBTQPIRA community, whatever you do is what you do. But it's 2026. We can only clap for him and applause for actually letting niggas know what it actually is. I ain't saying that bitch ain't gonna fight, but he might be. Look, Finesse2tymes throwing shots at Offset. He say he gonna whoop him. He say he can't talk his way out of this. He don't want to set up no wrestling match. He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin or Chuck Liddell. He's not trying to fight for money. He's trying to fight for pride. You know what I mean? Look, bro, you done started the wrong little beef with old Ricky. You should have left him alone. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, because he's fixated on you. Whatever drug he's on, whatever drug that brother is on, what is the perk 30s, perk 50s, or I don't know what they taking these days, bro. I'm gonna just be honest. I done stopped my pill popping shit a long time ago, bro. I don't know what the kind of pharmaceuticals they be on, but I'm gonna tell you this: whatever drug he's on, every time he does it, he thinks of Offset. You know what I mean? Offset, you better watch your bike, or you better be with that shit. Matter of fact, he said he got smoked with everybody from Atlanta because he done been all through that bitch. and it ain't what they make it out to be. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Finesse2tymes. Odom was arrested for driving under the influence in Vegas. Look, I thought his troubles was over. So I thought, but then I was reminded that, bro, once you start sucking on that glass cock, beaming up the Scotty, that shit has a way of taking a hold of you forever, fool. They got him, you know what I mean? Plus, he got 2 traffic violations, bro. He was driving 41 miles per hour over the speed limit, bro. He was high, you know what I mean? Voila. Now, after nearly passing out at the motherfucking Bunny Ranch, and well, he did pass out, but after nearly it ending for him at the Bunny Ranch, you'd have thought he would have learned his lesson. Man got a death wish, bro. Pull yourself together, Lamar Odom, you know what I mean, bro? It should be easy when you know all eyes are on you, fuck, nigga. Gates accuses Durk Gates of stealing from him. He say he caught her and the family stealing his money. She's a goddess of manipulation and all type of other shit. Look, bro, you should ask yourself, why should your wife, motherfucker you started with, feel the need to have to steal from you, fam? You know what I mean? Look, you be talking a whole lot of shit and filling in pieces that don't even need to be filled in. Let's just be honest. She was stealing from me. You know what I mean? That's supposed to be y'all money. That's supposed to be the house money. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. You could say what the fuck you want. You ruined the relationship because you wanted to be a commercial ass nigga and live the content that you create. Point blank, period. That's some fake ass shit, fool. Or the relationship over, now you want to drag her. Man, pay that man, that woman, that woman, that money you owe, bro. Ain't no other way. You can't get around this shit. $70K a month, child support plus spousal support. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Cudi dated Rihanna before A$AP Rocky. Yeah, after Drake, she didn't go straight to A$AP Rocky. She went to Playboy Cardi. A lot of people at like 2015, 2016, never happened, bro. It did. And I say all that to say, bro, on his new album, Don't Be Dumb, he's throwing a lot of shots. That my bitch, I took your style, I did this, I did that. Look, his style is more related to Playboy Cardi's. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. He wants to be down with the vamp movement. He wants to be a rager. Let's just be honest, bro. You hear the album. Drop it in the comments. Playboy Cardi sent a cease and desist so he will not be part of Helicopters, bro. Now, yeah, did he diss Drake? Yeah. But he's definitely dissing Playboy Cardi, too. A lot of people just ain't catching it. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. You know what? Tank me later. Throwing shots at Sauce Walker. If what Adam 22 is saying is true, him and Drake had a little conversation about old Albert Walker. I like to call him MC Gusto, but that's not to disrespect him. That's because if you ever seen CB4, he's just like Albert. They even share the same name, you know what I mean? You got to watch the movie to understand what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? But look here, Drake say, bro, the nigga cool, you know what I mean? He's a hustler, but he just got to stop acting like something he not. He be popping it a little too much. Look, bro, you're allowed to pop your shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. Now, I fuck with Drake. I fuck with Albert, you know what I mean? I don't dislike anybody, bro. But when it comes to shit like this, bro, you got to believe it or nobody else will. I want everybody to know that. You have to believe it or nobody else will. Brazy turned himself in. He's gonna be serving 57 days in prison, bro. He just got tired of running. He don't trust nobody. He don't trust nothing. He just wants to be right. Bro, it's the beginning of the year. I think a lot of people don't understand, like, all them fucking promises you made to yourself. It starts now, bro. You can't wait. That's why everybody say this year is gonna be my year. This year is gonna be my year. If you're not willing to put the work in and sacrifice some shit, you're not gonna get where you're going. You know what I mean? Look, Honeykomb Brazy say when he get out, he gonna be right, bro. He gonna be able to move like he want to, and he gonna be able to talk like he want to. Like I said, at some point in your life, you're gonna get tired of running and all the fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? And it's gonna change you, you know what I mean? It's gonna change you. You don't wanna spend your life behind the walls, bro, unless you don't like Pooh. Lamar demands $20 million to perform at Rolling Loud 2026. Look, bro, the man say he too big. He's selling out stadiums and arenas and shit, bro. What is he doing on that bill with the artists that are at Rolling Loud? And they got an incredible set list. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I believe it's 3 days. Drake turned it down every fucking year. You know what I mean? But look here. Chaos Duckworth wanted $20 million. It ain't about the money with him. He say it's the principle, bruh. You got to pay him if you want him on that stage. Look, you want what you want, and you demand what you demand. If they don't want to pay, guess what? He's not gonna come out to play. Just like that, bro. Shout out Kendrick Lamar. Brazy missed his pre-trial court date for the death of Mochi. This is for his murder for hire trial that pretty much officially already kicked off. You know what I mean? Look, what a lot of people don't know is, bro, the man ain't hiding from nothing. In fact, it's no way to hide, especially when you've become a public figure and you've been celebritized. In fact, the man just really going through something. Yeah, he going through something. The man done lost his mama, man. Your man lost his mama, bro. Yeah, I'm praying for that man. You know what I mean? Because on top of going through one of the hardest situations in the world, you ain't got your T. Jones there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real now. This man is innocent to proven guilty. I want everybody to know that, because a lot of people think it's backwards. A lot of people think it's the other way. Guilty to proven innocent. Look, everything that they saying right now doesn't mean shit until they could prove something. Shout out Yellow Beezy, bro, but shout out Motree too. Demo tapes for sale at auction. The same auction that's auctioning off that BMW 7 Series for $1.75 million, fam. Look, this is him, 1988, going as MC New York when he's 16 in a Baltimore basement. It was never meant to be put out for public release. This was just them experimenting, trying to find a voice. You know what I mean? Look, this is nothing other than a collectible. This is for somebody that has a heart for Tupac and has the money on. You know what I mean? If you got the heart and the money on, buy it. But if you just a rapper and you want to see like where he started so you can see how you could come, this ain't gonna teach you shit. You know what I mean? This ain't gonna teach you nothing. You know, let's just be honest, man. This is like, wouldn't call it trash, wouldn't call it garbage, but this is just like a doodle. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is just some shit he done, bro. Shout out Tupac, cause I love him, but what is it worth? Not much, unfortunately. They sent a cease and desist to A$AP Rocky over that Don't Be Dumb song Helicopters. He didn't want to be on it, didn't want to clear the verse. He told him, don't put it on that motherfucker or else. You know what I mean? Or else what? Nigga, you'll find that out if you drop that motherfucker on your album. It just wasn't right. Look, shout out A$AP Rocky, but he lost me when he took the chance to try to throw shots at Drake, bro. That shit is over, my nigga. You are not the guy. You ain't the one. On top of that, you keep talking about Rihanna being your bitch, your bitch, your bitch. He wants your bitch. Look, Ren, she's okay. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Shout out to Rihanna. You know what I mean? Love her. You know what I mean? She's really cool. But when it comes to beauty in America, bro, she's okay. She just getting mixed in and drowned by a lot of beauties in America. Nobody wants your bitch, homie. Stop talking like that, my nigga. That shit sucks. Longer performing in Kid Rock's Rock the Country Music Festival. Yeah, he was signed up. They had him on the bill. It wasn't until everybody started calling him a sellout or Uncle Tom till he decided, you know what? This ain't right. This is a MAGA event, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. The people ain't with the bullshit. Nice people want to come out and say he was wrongfully added to that set list. He was never supposed to perform on the show. He was. Yeah, he was. He just thought the people was gonna take it a little different. No, 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 no. You got to stand up for something, or you gonna fall for anything, bro. They say Ludacris kind of sold himself a long time ago for his Fast and Furious role. I don't know how true that is. If you ask me, Luda's real as you can be, bro, in a fake ass world. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Shout out Ludacris. Demic's throwing shots at J. Cole. He say he not listening to that bullshit. And he ain't talking about the whole Fall Off album. He's just talking about this track 2. But he say, look here, bro, it's not too late to delete that shit. Just give it up. He say, best alive, what you hearing is whack. Hear what? He say, nigga, you are a vegan rapper. You are the best to ride a bike. Maybe your daddy was a killer, but you like LeBron James. Look, he say this man is like a little techer in hip-hop. This is a contact sport. He ain't with the shit. Look, DJ Academics, you don't fucking know music, bro. That's what you fail to realize. You don't know music. You're a groomer, and you somebody that came up talking about Chicago drill and wasn't even the rapping side of it. You was talking about the beef. So to get in this bitch and think that you have any type of sense when it comes to what's hot and what's not, you can't and you never will. Let's just be honest. Shout out J. Cole, that bitch is a hit. Yeah, yo was arrested for evading arrest. Look, he say he wanted to go see his partner in jail, and it happened. Look, bro, be careful what you wish for. You know, a lot of people say this was a misdemeanor. He caught another misdemeanor. Look, this dude got priors. Yeah, this dude got priors, meaning if you do even, look, bro, even if you scratch your ass wrong, they gonna lock your motherfucking ass up. Look, this ain't just no smack on the ass. You ain't gonna get no attaboy for this. Hey, you're happy to see your bruh. You might not even see your boy. Now, let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You're on gang watch. Your gang watch means you might be segregated from the people you know in that bitch because they think you might start a problem, mate. Drop it in the comments. I think this is totally fucking ignorant and foolish. Go, yeah, yo, pull yourself together. Yeah, you can pull yourself together. I know he probably be out right now as we speak, but it ain't cool. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Finesse2tymes was arrested for drug possession in Texas, fam. Look, they got him again. This man is starting the year off terribly wrong, fam. Look, he want to blame it on Moneybagg Yo sent the cops on me, and that. It's not true. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. That's not true. Hopping on the internet every day, streaming, acting like a goddamn lunatic is what got them people on you, bro. You can't get on this motherfucker and act ignorant. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. Cause it makes you a target. These people looking at you like, bro, we got to take this menace down. You know what I mean? And they gonna get you. Only question is, how do you keep getting out? You know what I mean? How do you keep getting out, bro? You ain't going to no treatment facility or nothing. You know what I mean? You're not even admitting that you have a problem. You just keep going and going and going. Drop it in the comments, man. And there's Govon throwing shots at Gucci Mane. He said Gucci Mane went to Memphis and signed 100 rappers only to antagonize Yo Gotti for doing the deed with his wife, Keisha Kayor. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not really too familiar with these people, bro. This is new information to me. You know what I mean? He say only to drop all them rappers and keep Pooh Shiesty. But nah, Yo Gotti got Pooh Shiesty too. He say, bro, he took your artist and he took your wife. You know what I mean? Gucci Mane don't do a lot of talking. You know what I mean? I heard, you know, he has to be under medication right now just to keep him from going crazy. But if that boy could respond, you know what I mean, the things that he would say, you know, let's just be honest, let's just be real, bro. You're talking a whole lot of shit for a nigga to just duck the body. Let's just be honest, let's just be real, fam. NBA YoungBoy launched his own production company, 38 Films. Look, his first project is gonna be a documentary documenting the journey of the 38 baby. Look, it's gonna be directed by filmmaker Nico Ballesteros, the same one that did the Ye documentary. It's gonna be a Ye themed documentary. It's gonna be a whole lot of shit to see in it. You know what I mean? This is just this man showing you that he's more than just a freestyle rapper. You know what I mean? He's more than just an auto-tune rapper. He's a storyteller, fam. He's always been really held that high because of his storytelling. All this new shit, you know, it's still storytelling, but it's just a story people not really interested in. You know what I mean? Drop it in the comments. I know his fans ain't gonna like that, but the truth is the truth. Nigga wanna see Kentrell grow and spread his wings. That don't mean bapping a bitch in the forehead. You know, just being honest, just being real. Brazy awarded $124,000 in late fees for his paternity lawsuit. Ramil Satterway was suing. He wanted to know who his daddy was. He said Jay-Z was the baby. Jay-Z said it wasn't him. Why? Because his mother was underage at the time. He didn't want to admit to it. It would have ruined him. Look, Ramil Satterway dropped that lawsuit. Really, they got him out the way. Pistol case. After pistol case, riding dirty. You know what I mean? They got him. You know what I mean? But the godmother opened it back up. Judge dropped it. You know what I mean? He say this is for falsified allegations that has been rejected by multiple courts. It's not the case, bro. I don't even think they could refile. Look, the bro just wanted to know who his pappy was. Maybe Jigga gonna handle that shit behind the scenes, but a lot of people in New York seem to know the guy and believe that that's indeed his son, bro. A lot of things go on behind the scenes, bro, that they just can't speak about, but some still do. Yeah, some still talk about it. Lil Durk receives a murder for hire trial date. Look, they rescheduled it. It was originally set for somewhere like January the 13th, 2026, but they didn't push this thing back. It's supposed to be in the summer, but he'll get an April 21st start date, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. Hopefully we see some supporters there, bro. It's supposed to be people lined up like this, the Diddy trial. Are y'all not remembering? This is Smirkio, this Durk, this y'all God. What's up, nigga? Look, it's going to be at the U.S. District Court, Central District of California, if people are concerned with the whereabouts. This is for orchestrating a hit on Quando, Rondo, which ended the life of Lil Pop, you know, the untimely death of Lil Pop. He had nothing to do with it. Look, pre-trial starts March 30th. I think Durk is going to be freed of this. I don't think nobody's going to snitch and cooperate, and I don't think he had anything to do with it. And I don't think he was sliding for one. I'm just being honest, bro. I was not paid to say this. A$AP Rocky throwing shots at Drake, you know what I mean? He say he thought he was gonna wife Riri, all this other type of shit, you know what I mean? On this Don't Be Dumb, on this new album, you know what I mean? Look here, bro. All right, keep that shit. Yeah, keep that shit. Yeah, I didn't already kill the dog. He's 6 feet deep. I rep the H better than you, nigga. How? Cause you slow some shit down, you know? It's just, come on, A$AP Rocky, with the bullshit, bro. You could have just came out and just kept your shit artistic, but you wanted to go a creative direction and diss Drake. Come on, man. This how you get your shit talked about? Come on, thug. Come on, thug. This ain't the way, fam. This ain't the way. This is just corny. Now, when you see somebody beef Drake, you know, they deserve to get the shit slapped out of them, man. Keep that shit out of the news, out of the press. Nigga don't want to hear that shit, A$AP Rocky. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. And I ain't even heard the project yet. And may not even give it a listen now. I'm just be honest with you, fam. You shouldn't have came out like that. CJ Casino throwing shots at Go Yeah Yo. He said ain't no secret why that man got himself locked up. It wasn't just to see his partner evading the arrest, man. Come on, nigga, don't just play with the law like that. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. He uploaded a picture of Go Yeah Yo infused with the guy from Don't Be a Menace. You the one with the ice pick. You know, you want to go back there because you got a different life in there. Yeah. Apparently, CJ Casino seems to believe Go Yeah Yo fucking with the other side. You know, he fucking with the other side. Let's just say that, because I'm going through community strike right now. I don't need no more trouble, fam. I don't need no more trouble. And his sexual preference is none of my business. You know what I mean? Shout out little CJ Casino, because he ain't gonna never leave Go Yeah You alone. Ever since he found the pictures of him busting it open, that was going viral on the internet. I've never seen him. If you seen him, drop it in the comments. But you's a nasty motherfucker. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. What's going on with Go Yayo? Cassinet is being mentored by Kanye West, no other than Ye. Now, Ye has incredible designs when it comes to fashion. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. The Yeezy boots are still among the people's choice. Let's just be honest, man. He's mentoring Cassinet with his new Vivette clothing line. He has nothing to do with the brand, but he's giving them some direction and some pointers on what may or may not sell. Look, you might as well go listen to some Virgil. Listen to some Virgil Abloh. Yeah, he'll tell you everything you need to know about the fashion game. The man broke it down. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. A lot of people say, this man clothing brand is lackluster. It pretty much is, bro. If you gonna get in it, you gotta really get in it and be committed. You know, you don't even say, you know, fashion designer until you go really take you some courses. You can't learn everything on your own, and you can't even be taught by friends. You must take your courses yourself and pass the classes, bro. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the playground. YoungBoy released his Slime Cry album. Now, a lot of people thought it was gonna be delayed. Why? Because that goddamn countdown had disappeared, but he put it out. Look, 31 tracks. Tree 1. 31 tracks, bro. 2 features is what I'm seeing. Now, I ain't gonna slam it before I jam it, but I ain't really been a Kentrell fan these days, fam. I ain't been a fan of the music, my nigga. Like, the nigga I rock with him, you know what I mean? But as far as the music, I can't even listen to that shit, fam. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, what I'm gonna do, since this NBA YoungBoy, this K-Dog, Kentrell, Golden, I'm gonna check it out, fam. I'm gonna check it out. But tomorrow, the post will be lackluster, trash, garbage, if it's that, fam. I'm hoping it ain't. I'm hoping he got some shit on that that's gonna make a nigga like me, player-ass nigga like me, sit back and chill and just rock to it. But after J. Cole done dropped that, bro, you can't just put out no bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the playground. Durk released from solitary confinement after 5 months. Yeah, that nigga been in there from 3 to 5 months, maybe even longer. That's just what they telling us. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. That's 23 hours a day lockdown in the shoe, nigga. You know what I mean? Yeah. They got that nigga on a different programming right now. He's got skinnier, and he's cut his dreads. They breaking him. They trying to. You know what I mean? They trying to, but he's remaining G. You know, he's remaining G for whatever that means. You know what I mean? But look here, I don't think they gonna convict him. You know what I mean? It's looking bad for him. Yeah, it's looking bad for him. But I don't think they gonna convict him, bro. You know why? When them lawyers do their work, them lawyers gonna do their work. All you gotta do is make sure you pay them right, bro. Yeah. $1 million would be the body, bro. Especially when they tell you they ain't got no evidence. Drop it in the comments. What do you think is gonna happen to Smirky, yo? That's what I wanna know, fam. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the playground. Like, share, subscribe, nigga. Hype, run shit up, nigga. NBA YoungBoy becomes the first rapper with 126 RIAA certifications. Look, platinum, gold, which color you want? You know, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. This is Kentrell Golden. The nigga put out quite a bit of music, you know what I mean? Solid music, bro. The fans love it, you know what I mean? It doesn't relate to everybody. If you're not going to a particular thing in your life, you probably won't get it, you know what I mean? You probably won't get it. It's on some different timing, but the nigga got a cult-like fan base, and they love him. They love him, you know what I mean? 126 RIAA certifications. If it wasn't for YouTube, he wouldn't have shit, you know what I mean? So these new rules kind of fucks him, but he done already made history. Yeah, he's like the new age Michael fucking Jackson, you know what I mean? You whoop-de-doo. It's what he wanted, you know what I mean? Just shout out NBA YoungBoy, because I like him. Lil TJ throwing shots at Offset. He say Offset broke, bro. He say he's still on that 10-piece. He seen him in a casino with Bobby Smurda, and he just wondering why he ain't got a pay just yet. You know what I mean? He say don't loan him no money, because he don't have it to pay back. If you expect a return, you won't be getting it from Offset. Look, he say in the casino, Offset was begging his fans to send him cash apps. Look, Lil TJ, bro, go get your money, or just fuck off. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Because you're coming to the internet saying, nigga, owe you this, owe you that. Nigga, go get your money. Nigga, we done heard you said a few times to think that you still don't have your 10-piece, fam. You acting like a pussy boy. You know what I mean? You ain't got paid because you ain't going to get paid. Let's just be honest about this shit, fam. That nigga treating you like a little old hoe, a little old bitch. Just trio four, you know what I mean? Go get your paper, nigga, you know what I mean? If it's yours. If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business. J. Cole released this 2, track 2, from his long-awaited The Fall Off album, bro. If it was any question on whether or not Jermaine Cole was needed in 2026, Tink again, you know what I mean, man? This song is fucking dope, fam. No lie. Yeah, the man rapped his life in reverse. Now, a lot of people gonna say they did this, bro, but until you really go check this song out, and I implore everybody to go listen, if you're a hip-hop fan, until you really check this song out and see what I mean by that, you wouldn't understand. So I can't even really just put it in words, you know what I mean? But look, bro, this is one of the dopest tracks 2026 has seen thus far. Just being honest, just being real, bro. The Fallout is a 2-disc album. This is looking to be the #1 album of the year. You know what I mean? I know Iceman dropping. I love I love Drake. Love him. But come on, man. Cole just doing something really, really different, bro, and extraordinary. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments. 100 throwing shots at 6ix9ine. He say 6ix9ine is a piece of shit for pressing charges on his home invaders. Look, bro, what did you think he was gonna do? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Come on, Wag. Come Wag. Let's just be honest, bro. He not already snitched on the 9 Trey Bloods, fam. He not already did that, so it's showing you if anything happened, he gonna tell it. Yeah, he gonna tell. Then he say his homeboy snitched on him. That's why he gotta go do 3 months. What you think he gonna do when he get out? Yeah, he gonna be looking to tell even more. Mucho más. You know, it's just how it works. You know what I mean? A piece of shit, piece of garbage. I don't know about all that, cause guess what? All you niggas telling. You know what I mean? I used to fuck with OGs till I found out they fuck with 12. I'm just being honest, man. How you think they stay in the field so goddamn long? They're feeding information. Yeah, drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, fam. Pray for Corrupt, man. Pray for him. Anybody that's a DPG fan, just fuck with the West Coast, just fuck with hip-hop. Pray for Corrupt. Look, they say the man has been hospitalized for multiple seizures. Again. Now, it could be the liquor, who knows, bro. You can't really pinpoint what a nigga going through until a nigga tell you what he going through. You know what I mean? But yeah, a nigga know you drink like a motherfucking truck. Cirrhosis of the liver can happen. You know what I mean? On top of a whole bunch of other things, bro. Look, I say pray for him because the man human. You know what I mean? When your human body starts failing, it's nothing you could do. You could say, man, I wish I wouldn't have did this. I wish I wouldn't have did that. But most of the times, you are too late. You know what I mean? Just being honest, just being real. Look, I think Corrupt gonna go ahead and pull through. But he's a brittle man. I'm just being honest, just being real, man. Drop it in the comments. DJ Academics throwing shots at Lil Boosie. Say, despite what he may think of Kodak Black is a legend in these streets. Yeah, hip-hop loves him. He's done way more and have way more of a chokehold in the game than a little Boosie, cause Boosie say ain't nobody listening to him, he's trash, blah blah blah. NBA YoungBoy is better, YB's better. That's false, fam. Yeah, if you don't know Kodak Black, I implore you dumb ass to get to know that nigga. That he's just getting started. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I think when a nigga wears flaws on his sleeve, y'all misjudge. You know what I mean? But you can't judge a book by the cover, fam. You just must listen and see what he has been creating throughout the years. Shout out Lil Boosie, because he's dope, you know what I mean? But as far as like Hip hop, yeah. Kodak Black got you, homie. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, fam. I hate to do this, bro, but Cassinet, Vivek clothing brand is terrible, fam. It is lackluster. I could kind of see where you're going with this, bro, but this is you just going to work with other people and letting them present you with ideas. It's not you actually scoping out some shit, bro. What you got to understand is, bro, fashion is in you. It's not on you, bro. You haven't been known for being a flyest nigga, fam. So to think that you could just go to that field and just dominate, bro, you're thinking wrong, bro. Stay where you are. Yeah, stay where you are for a few years, bro. You're young. You're getting money. To give it up now and let somebody come replace you would be stupid. Let's just be honest, bro. For you to just go make some old in-between ass him type shit, you know what I mean? Him, he, him, whatever, they, them type shit, you know what I mean? Drop it in the comments, man. Becomes the first rapper with 10 albums on the Billboard 200. Did I forget to mention this is simultaneously? Look, everybody anticipating that Iceman album, so they are going back and jamming the whole catalog, fam. Look, Take Care is number 17, you know what I mean? Number 17, yeah, and this was over a decade ago. This album has came out, you know what I mean? Nothing was the same as 179, which I'm kind of surprised, but, you know, numbers don't lie, bro. I know a lot of people say, bro, his numbers were real back in the day. What are y'all doing about this, bro? Y'all skipping past this, bro? This is one of the biggest artists in the world, bro. Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, bro. Shout out Drizzy. Yeah, shout out Drizzy, because he always find a new way to break a record. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Drop it in the comments. Javante Davis facing felony charges in Miami. They looking for him. The Fugitive Task Force is looking for Javante Davis. Wherever you are hiding, go ahead and turn yourself in, kid. They want this nigga for false imprisonment, battery, and attempted kidnapping. You know what I mean? He pulled his BM out of the Gentleman's Club, Miami Gardens, by the back of the neck and commenced to whoop her ass in a parking garage. And the Miami police are looking for him. You know what I mean? This is why Jake Paul didn't want to give him the shot to getting the millies. You know what I mean? He felt like the man was a dirtbag, a piece of shit, garbage, trash, basura. Bro, you didn't want to fight no more, only to stay in the house and fight your motherfucking woman, man. Grow up. Grow the fuck up and get your priorities in order, bro. They about to lock your stupid ass up, fam. They about to lock your dumb ass up. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Jay-Z compares Scarface to Nas, man. He say he owns far more Scarface albums than he does Nas. Why? Because Scarface is a fucking legend. Look, Toure tried to say Scarface only had one flow. Look, Jigga say the level of shit that Face says, he didn't even have to rap it. You know what I mean? Look, a lot of people don't give Scarface the credit, the flowers he deserves. But let's just be honest, let's just be real. Technic is one of the hardest niggas to ever touch a fucking microphone. What people fail to realize is legends are born in the South, fam. Yeah, they just move up north. You know, I'm just being honest with you, fam. Drop it in the comments, but put some respect on Brad's name. That's Face. Face Mom. Put some respect on Scarface's name, bro. J. Cole announced the release date for his long-awaited The Fall Off album, bro. He say this bitch was over 10 years in the making, bro. He wanted to put out his best work. He calling it his last work. I don't know if that means retirement or what, but I'm gonna tell you what. He's already put out the first single, This 2, track 2, fam. This song is incredible. Incredible. Everybody didn't know how he was gonna go after this whole beef shit, this whole Kendrick and Drake shit, but this man came back showing you why He's part of the top tree. You know what I mean? I don't even believe it's a top tree, but the top tree, yeah, he's part of that, bro. That nigga sitting at the top of the totem pole. Jermaine Cole down there got everybody in a headlock because he's really rapping. But to this album, that bitch gotta have a hit on it, fam. Gotta have a hit. We're not talking about any hit. We're talking about a commercial hit. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground. Cole announced the release date for his long-awaited The Fall Off album, bro. He say this bitch was over 10 years in the making, bro. He wanted to put out his best work. He calling it his last work. I don't know if that means retirement or what, but I'm gonna tell you what. He's already put out the first single. This track 2, fam. This song is incredible. Incredible. Everybody didn't know how he was gonna go after this whole beef shit, this whole Kendrick and Drake shit. But this man came back showing you why he's part of the top tree. You know what I mean? I don't even believe it's a top tree, but the top tree, yeah, he's part of that, bro. That nigga sitting at the top of the totem pole. Jermaine Cole down there got everybody in a headlock because he's really rapping. But to this album, that bitch gotta have a hit on it, fam. Gotta have a hit. We're not talking about any hit. We're talking about a commercial hit. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap. People tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.
Charleston White denies being shot in Fort Worth. Word came around that he was in critical condition and he had been shot 3 times. You know what I mean? Look, I say, no, Uncle Charlie. You know what I mean? They didn't get him. Yeah, they didn't get him. He has responded to those claims and he say, bro, he wasn't even nowhere near Fort Worth. It was in Miami, laying low. Yeah, in Miami, laying low. Bro, if you really follow the guy, you would know he been fucking with 607 Unc and all type of other shit, fam. He ain't even been around, bro. He ain't easily accessible. You know what I mean? Yeah, he know y'all want to get him. So what you think he doing, bro? He playing a game of Final Destination, nigga. When he leave the house, he know anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So you know what he do? Point A to point B. There and back. You know what I mean? Real shit. Drop it in the comments. You won't catch him. Chris Brown $500 million defamation lawsuit has been dismissed. Look, bro, this is for Chris Brown, A History of Violence documentary. There was a documenting all his sexual abuse and all that other shit. Look, he was suing Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Ample Entertainment. He say they built the documentary based on fucking lies. Look, the judge ruled, banged that gavel down and said, you know what? They follow proper journalistic standards. Cited the anti-slap law. You can't silence journalists. Look, Chris Brown, you got to give them, address the elephant in the room, fam. Does this mean that the allegations are actually fucking true? Yeah, if it had nothing, no truth to it, they would have threw it out. But they let it stick, bro. Let that one sit. Shout out Chris Brown, because I like it. 50 Cent secures a $124 million development agreement in Shreveport. This is to build tree properties downtown. They're going to turn them into entertainment venues. This is a 20-year development. It's going to generate $18.8 billion. You know what I mean? That's just an estimate. Over 6,000 jobs, $300 million in wages. Look, bro, all roads lead to Shreveport. I know 50 be on this bullshit, you know what I mean? He be on this bullshit, so that's the shit a nigga look down on him for. But that business, you know what I mean, that nigga gonna handle business. Let's just be honest, let's just be real, bro. The nigga doing big things for the city of Shreveport. Only thing is, bro, don't bring it down there and try to do the same thing you did with Force in Chicago and try to make it look all violent and terrible. You know what I mean? No. Stick to the script, nigga. That's all we ask. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground. Durk is facing a lawsuit for the wrongful death of FBG Duck. Look, Mama Duck has been given a green light that she could take this case to court. You know what I mean? She's filing, you know what I mean? And he's going to have to face this. But look, a lot of people saying, bro, FBG Duck tormented the city. Yeah, he was a bully. Why now do you want the money on when your son did the same thing? You know what I mean? It's hypocritical. Look, that mama had nothing to do with the shit. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you like that. That mama had nothing to do with it. This is all about the coin. You know what I mean? This is all about the coin. And she gonna get hers. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Two wrongs don't make a right. Nobody hasn't done it that we know of, but let's just be honest. She ain't the first and she ain't gonna be the last. Once they figure out this is the way to the money, everybody's gonna do it. Tuka Mama should do it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. DDG throwing shots at Soulja Boy. Look, Soulja Boy just unleashed his new shoe, his new sneaker. The Soulja Boy Drip Coat. You know what I mean? Sneaker. He got prices from $100 to $350 a pair. You know what I mean? The price tag is up there. You know what I mean? But the shit, these shoes are trash. You know what I mean? That's what DDG say. DDG say these motherfuckers are arse. You know what I mean? They really are, bro. It looked like he tried to get the sneaker body of a blazer and just paint like Soulja Boy graffiti on it, man. Ain't nobody rocking that shit. And let's just be honest, bro. If they were so cool, why did you wear the oversized forces instead of your own shit? You know what I mean? This nigga here just trying to make some money. Look, Soulja Boy responded. He said, how about you drop a pair? Call them hoes doodle garbage. Fuck, nigga, and let's go sell for sale. Look, neither one of them gonna sell. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. And they probably rip As You Wham a couple times. Drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, man. Fat Boy SSE left $5,000 in a Uber in Detroit. He said he did everything to chase that goddamn Uber down to get that $5,000, but to no avail. He was not successful. You know what I mean? Look, bro, this is 5 racks. You can't leave shit in the Uber. I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. You can't leave shit in the Uber, and they got all type of shit on there where you can report your missing item and all this type of shit. They never get back to you. Uber, wherever y'all are, bro, whoever running that shit, fam, y'all really need to get to the bottom of it, bro. My little girl left a phone, an iPhone in that motherfucker, bro. Soon as we got out that bitch, I'm hitting up the Uber driver. Message is supposed to go straight to him. I ain't seen that phone in over 9 months. Man, look, that 5,000 as good as fucking gone. And the nigga that got in after you could have got it. You know what I mean? Hell of a fucking win. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Kiss that shit. Bye-bye. Castanet announces his new clothing line, Vivette. He's given up content creation and he's focused on designing his clothes, learning how to sew and all type of shit. He got a whole YouTube channel dedicated to showing you what he's learning. A lot of people are saying this brand is satanic. Why? Because he's fucking with the LGBTQ PRIA community with this, even though I don't think it means nothing, bro. You got to understand, bro. These people are metrosexuals. You know what I mean? They just rule the fashion world, bro. It's like you got to fuck with these other people if you want to get in. You know what I mean? I would have thought he had acquired enough money to do his own thing. But, man, he's being controlled right now. Yeah, they got him. Yeah, they got him, y'all. That's what they saying. I like Castanet, bro. I don't think you should be limiting yourself to doing any one thing, bro. You got to expand your horizons. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Castanet. NBA YoungBoy released the Creep Up On Ya music video. Look, bro, the shit is going ham. It's going bonkers. The numbers are crazy. But the music is terrible. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Kentrell Golden, what are you doing, bro? You over there focused on the wrong shit and just screaming. Everything you make is just screaming. This ain't to go against YB, because I know YB fans love him. I know y'all love him. But come on, man, you got to be more creative. Not just when you're going over there and collaborating with the white girls. Yeah, not just when you're doing all of those silly shit, man. With your own music, bro. Dig a little deeper, bro. You dig a little deeper. The people want to hear it, but now it don't even seem like the people are going to be able to hear that thing. Yeah, ain't going to be like, the countdown even faded away. Is it coming out Friday or not? People want to hear the slime cry, but goddamn, if the shit lackluster, just keep it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. NBA YoungBoy Slime Cry album has been delayed, unfortunately, once again. Yeah, once again. Now, a countdown came out, and it said in 3 days it will be released. But the countdown has since disappeared. Yeah, it's disappeared. And YB ain't told nobody whether it was still coming out or not. Look, if that shit don't come out Friday, the fans are going to be highly upset. Now, it's not impossible for him to go ahead and drop it, but it's just not looking likely. It's not looking. Why? The music, bro, the streaming numbers are high, of course. It's YouTube. The boy kills on that platform, but let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Nobody jamming that new YB. In all reality, when you see somebody jamming YB, it's always a Pooh that think he's hot, bro, and it makes you not even want to jam that shit. You know what I mean? Because you're a nigga whoop a nigga jamming that YB these days. Drop it in the comments. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, fam. Mike Tyson requests a rematch with Jake Paul. Yeah, he say the first one was fixed, and he want to get in there and show people what he could really do. Mike, sit your old tired ass down. You're not a man, got a glass jaw. You want to call him back out. Look, you had your chance, bro, and you took the cheese. It was morals and principles or money, and you took the money on. Look, bro, unfortunately, nobody wants to see that anymore. Yeah, nobody wants to see Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul. What's going on with Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather? They supposed to be meeting in Africa soon and having some type of exhibition. Drop it in the comments, bro. Nigga want to see that. Yeah, we'll see that. It's a little celebrity get down. But as far as you and Jake Paul, his professional career is officially over. Yeah, Anthony Joshua shattered his jaw in 3 places, bro. Bro would never be the same. They calling that nigga Mr. Glass behind the scenes. He will never take a fight as real as that again. I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rare. People tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.
LaRussell announced as performer for the EA Sports Madden Bowl going down February 6th at the San Francisco Chase Center. You know what I mean? Look, Teddy Swims and Luke Combs will also be performing. This is very big for LaRussell. LaRussell fans, wherever y'all are, y'all look great. Yeah, y'all got this nigga on top of the world. That and his natural skill at rapping. Like, everybody ain't got it. Let's just be honest. Everybody ain't live performers. Everybody can't do that as easy as that man is doing that. You know what I mean? Look, he broke a record. His new independent album, he let fans choose how much they wanted to pay for the record. Well, one basketball player, I don't watch basketball, so I'm not really familiar with the guy's name right now, but he paid $11,000. That's a new world record, you know what I mean? Nipsey Hussle made a splash when he was selling a $100 mixtape. This nigga sold a $11,000 album. Shout out LaRussell, fam. Keep going. Mary J. Blige announces her Las Vegas residency. My life, my story, bro. At the Dolby Live Park, MGM. This is going to be 10 dates running from May 1st, 2026 until July. Look, bro, Monet Tejada ain't going nowhere. Mary J. Blige has had a incredible career. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. And at 50 years old, she's looking good for herself, man. Acting, singing. This is going to be incredible, bro. Fans from all across the world will get together and hear her life, her story in her way. You know what I mean? Pre-sale tickets are going on sale January 14th, and it's going to stop January 15th. If you planning to go, get them now. Motherfucker gonna sell out quick. You know what? When you could really see people are gonna gravitate towards you forever. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. She got real fans. Shout out Mary J. Blige. YFN and Lucci tried to assassinate YSL Woody's baby, fam. Yeah, the man say he had the bus back with his baby in his hands, man. This happened in 2015 at Mr. Yarbrough house. That's YSL Woody father-in-law. Look, bro, like January 31st is one of my favorite records from YFN and Lucci right now. I love it. You know what I mean? It's something about the sample, but come on, my nigga. These are questions that people should be asking you. What was going on in your head? Was it that they shot up your mama eyes? That nut? What's going on, bro? Old people and kids are supposed to be off limits, man. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think them two could ever. And I'm not talking about YSL Woody and Lucci. I'm talking about YSL and YFN. They can never be truly cool. Somebody gonna get got one day, trust me. Lil Wayne denies opening a free medical clinic for the homeless. Look, the word got around that he did a little ribbon cutting and tried to keep the whole thing quiet, bro. Allegedly, Lil Wayne, Hope for Soul, and all this other shit. Look, it's not true. It's not true. In all actuality, it's state-run free clinics everywhere for the poor, for the homeless, for those that just can't get around to getting health insurance, fam. So why would you think Wayne, out of all people, will spend his own hard-earned money to pay doctors and do all this other stuff? That man ain't no humanitarian in that sense. Hate to say it, bro, but I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. It was cool, but you do better just having an organization just helping them acquire health insurance. That's it, bro. Yeah, get them Obamacare. Drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, man. Samuel Jackson made $357 million from acting in 156 movies, bro. 357 and counting, because let's just be honest, let's just be real. It's all type of shit the man and I already filmed, and it ain't even came out yet. The man got movies for the next 20 years, bro. So before you know it, it'll be over $1 billion. But he averages 2,200 words per movie. That's roughly $1,000 a word. 116 of them words are motherfuckers. That man made at least $1.5 million from just branding motherfucker. You know what I mean? Look, shout out Samuel Jackson. It is one of the best actors of this time. Yeah, it's only a few grievances I might have with old Samuel, but yeah, maybe he's unaware of what those might be, so I can't hold him against him. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores from the playground. Sauce Walker responds to Adam 22's fight request. He refers to him as no jumper, but he say he's down with it, bro. He ain't worried about the height difference. Yeah, he ain't worried about the height differential. He's willing to get in the ring with him and knock him out. He say he's been doing this for years. Look, Sauce Walker, bro, you might have bit off more than you could chew. Adam 22 ain't gonna play with you now. Now, you ain't really saying it with conviction like you really think you could whoop him. You don't really say it like you believe it, bro. Like Tekken and all that other shit, man, nigga ain't trying to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Do you want to fight or not? You know what I mean? Point blank, period. And so, most occasions, bro, how much money you got doesn't matter, you know what I mean? In certain rooms, your money doesn't matter, you know what I mean? That's one of these is one of them arenas, bro. Now you got to prove something. And unfortunately, it's gonna have to be against Adam. Kendrick Lamar has been nominated for 6 NAACP Image Awards at the 57th NAACP Image Awards at the Pasadena Civic Center Auditorium. It's gonna be broadcasted on CBS Television Network February 28th, fam. 6 nominations. This nigga is leading the league right now. And just be honest, let's just be real. He's running up for sure. He's getting the awards, but Drake is actually winning the numbers. Let's just be honest, fam. Yeah, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But look here, bro. 6, including Entertainer of the Year. Look, you can't take it away from him. You can only ask yourself, what do they really got against Drizzy, my nigga? Everybody know Drizzy is leading the numbers. That's like the most valuable player not getting the MVP award, bro. Drop it in the comments, man. Whack 100 throwing shots at Glasses Malone. Look, Glasses Malone had a whole lot to say to Aiden Ross, say you're gonna get the Crips on him and all type of other shit. Well, look here, Whack 100 say that nigga cloud chasing off that main name, trying to regain some fame off that main name. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it's a little bit of that. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. When was it ever cool for you to tell a nigga what you gonna do to him? Especially in 2026, knowing people are connected to the police, and that video footage of you recording yourself saying that is gonna be every fucking where, bro. Anytime you put it on the internet, clout purposes. Some bullshit like that. Yeah, it's clout purposes. You want somebody to stop you. Yeah, you want somebody to stop you. That ain't nothing but a going nowhere threat. You know what I mean? Whack 100, shout. You got to call these niggas out. It's just how it is, niggas. Scars from the playground. Drop it in the comments. Shout out Wacky. NBA YoungBoy announces the release date for his Slime Cry album is coming out Friday, January 16th. Now, a lot of people kind of lost excitement for it, but the true YB fans are still waiting. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. This shit was supposed to drop November, then December. In December, at first in November, he said it was loading. December, he said Slime Cry. I don't think loading. You know what I mean? Real shit. Now, it's dropping slated for January 17th. It's supposed to be a classic album. We'll see. I just hope he toned it down, bro, and he's just not focusing on the auto-tune and that's all I hear when I listen to this shit now. You know what I mean? I used to fuck with Kentrell Golden, but this new shit just ain't been clicking with me. I'm just being honest, just being real, bro. Keeping it real ain't hating. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. A$AP Rocky removed Playboi Carti from the official version of Helicopters. Now, I made the announcement that Playboi Carti was supposed to be a surprise guest feature on Helicopters on his Don't Be Dumb album, but Rocky took him off. Yeah, he felt like it wasn't right. Maybe he got him on some other shit. We'll just have to wait till the album come out. But they say, look, the visuals are incredible. Yeah, they say the visuals are incredible and the song is slapping. You know what I mean? Shout out A$AP Rocky. He's officially made his return. Yeah, he's back. In 2026, people been waiting to hear from him. Look, all you got to do is start putting out the music. Once you put out the music, people will start forgetting that you've been on a elongated absence. Yeah, you've had an elongated absence. Yeah, hiatus is the word I'm looking for. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Look, Pooh Shiesty is what y'all know him as. Denies being arrested in Dallas. Look, the records show this man was being held in Dallas until April 11th. It damn near broke the internet. Everybody was like, God damn, he just got out. They got him again. It ain't no truth behind it. Now, Shiesty ain't came out and said nothing himself, but the label has confirmed he's at home under house arrest. That's something to do with halfway house shit. Yeah, some halfway house shit. Yeah. But if he keep talking, they'll lock his ass up again. Yeah, for sure. Because he want to be the biggest motherfucking killer on the internet, bro. When has it ever been cool to be known as that? Niggas just know how to take it if you come with the bullshit, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You just letting a nigga know, when you let a nigga know what you are, makes it easy for you to be caught. You know, I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Shout out Lonnie. J. Prince Jr. arrested for the death of
Duke the Jeweler. Allegedly, he had something to do with the whole robbery after the Dice game shit. Federal authorities busted him at the airport. Look, I don't know how true this is. Yeah, I don't know how true this is, because some people say this happened 2 months ago. Some people say it happened 4 days ago. The only thing I know is that Finesse2tymes is talking a whole lot of shit, and Jay Prince Jr. is quiet. Is he, in fact, in jail? Is what inquiring minds want to know, fam, because they keeping this shit under wraps, my nigga. Did they get you for the death of Duke the Jeweler? Did Finesse2tymes actually pay $50,000 hush money? What's going on with all this shit? Is this some type of way why he want out of my ties? Everybody want to know what happened to Duke the Jeweler and Takeoff. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, fam. Drop it in the comments. Dane Dash throwing shots at Charlemagne the God. Look, he's responding, bro. He say, you give me donkey of the day, nigga, that's some gay shit. You know what I mean? He say, he's only tough when nobody's around. What can you expect from an old bitch made nigga? You know what I mean? He say only sounds intelligent when he says dumb things, because nobody is actually listening. You know what I mean? He's been exploiting the culture to bring down the brother man, but always saluting the other man. You know what I mean? He say all he does is gossip, and he cry when he's confronted. You know what I mean? It sounds about right about Charlemagne. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Nowadays, every time you say something about somebody, they want to sue. They want to sue. Do you not know what business you're in? All you do is talk about people, bro. But you get mad when people talk about you, bro. You got to make that make sense. Shout out Dane, because despite seemingly losing everything, that man is still going. Kanye West files a lawsuit against a construction manager. This is over his Malibu mansion that he purchased in 2021 for $53.3 million. Lauren, he gutted out and was trying to make a bomb shelter. Look, bro, he sold that thing for $21 million. But look here, he's saying the construction manager attempted to sabotage the sale by suing him in 2023. He sued him for unpaid wages, labor violations, work conditions, and disability discriminations. Plus, he put a $1.8 million lien on the property. He said it sabotaged the sale and made him lose money. Remember, he purchased the property for $53.7 million. But look, bro, you gotta understand, after you didn't gut it the whole property out, it's only worth 20. You know what I mean? If that, you know what I mean? They gotta build a house. This is like that Richard Pryor movie, Moving. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Let's just be real, Kanye. Tupac, 1997 BMW 7 Series on sale for $1.75 million. It's being auctioned off. Right now, it's on a Celebrity Cars Las Vegas showroom floor. You can go see that. This is the car he died in. He didn't really die. He died, you know, if you relate 7 day theory, 7 days later. You know what I mean? But this is the car he was shot in after the Mike Tyson fight. Look, bro, they've done a full restoration of this vehicle. You know what I mean? New wheels, new everything. You know what I mean? But they saying it's the same vehicle. A lot of people saying it just look like it. I'm gonna be honest with you, B. You know what I mean? A lot of people saying that ain't even a vehicle that just look like the vehicle, B. Look, that vehicle been owned by so many people. You know what I mean? If it was gonna be what it's gonna be, you should have made it that in 1996. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Is it worth it? Let's just be honest. Look, Jim Jones tried to attack Dane Dash in New York, and before he spin the story and create his own little narrative, guess what? They recorded it. Yeah, Freaky Zeke got the whole team on camera. Jim came out there, pulled up on him, but guess what? Dane Dash wasn't going. Yeah, Dane Dash told him he's an entertainer. Never put his hands on nothing. Nigga, you never seen me get fucked up. You know what I mean, man? Damn, Dane would have worked him. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Even Cameron came out the gate and say, God damn, Dane, I know I'm so-and-so, but you look good out there on this day, nigga. Everybody got to give it to Dane. Why?
he held it down. Look, Jim Jones, Jimmy, Blood, if you ain't gonna do nothing, stay your ass where you at, my nigga. Stop doing this shit for TV, my nigga. Everything not meant to be a game. I'm just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.
Look, R. Kelly wrote 25 albums in federal prison, but you may never get to hear him. Let's just be honest, let's just be real. He's serving 31 years in federal prison. Racketeering, sexual child abuse, and sex trafficking, man. Look, one must be able to separate the man from the music if it really matters that much to you, man. The man got talent, bro. It's R. Kelly, you know what I mean? Yeah, the man got talent. But once you done met the monster, fam, you can't just let it go. It's hard to listen to R. Kelly and not think about the things that he has done, bro. Listen, just imagine. When a nigga snitch, you don't even want to hear his music if snitching matters, you know what I mean? Once he turned gay, you don't want to hear that Frank Ocean shit no more. I'm sorry, Frank Ocean, but I'm just being honest, fam. Once he becomes a child molester, it's over, fam. You're dead. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Just being honest, just being real. Look, A$AP Rocky announces new single, Helicopter, dropping January 12th, fam. And they say it's gonna be a surprise guest on there. A lot of people saying this is gonna be Playboy Cardi. You know what I mean? Look, bro, I already heard a little snippet. It's sounding fire. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. It's them Cardi vibes for sure. You know what I mean? A lot of people say he started that type shit, but he got that shit from, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Space Ghost, Smoke Perp. You know what I mean? Nigga didn't know about Rocky like that till they heard him with Smoke Perp. You know, I don't know what happened to Smoke Perp. Now, A$AP Rocky is the pioneer. Look, the Helicopter sound like it's gonna be slamming. Let's just be honest. Rocky said it's gonna be the dumbest video of the year. Play dumb games, win dumb prizes. We'll see where this go, bro, but I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Real shit. Shout out A$AP Rocky. Whatever you got going on behind the scenes, it don't mean nothing. No, you're big as your next biggest hit. Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Scars from the playground. Cash Out, rapper Cash Out, that one dude from that one song has been ordered to pay $40 million to sex trafficking victims, fam. He's currently serving a life sentence plus 70 years for pimping. Look, bro, they just got him. A default judgment, $10 million compensatory damages, and $30 million punitive damages. Now, he could try to appeal it, but look, nigga, you know you were wrong, fam. He literally ruined his whole life trying to be a fucking pimp. You know what I mean? Underage girls. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, what was he doing? He was just selling pussy. You know, he was just selling pussy. That's all he was doing. Man, there's a whole lot of underage shit. And even when it was just selling pussy, you're getting them high and taking advantage of them ladies, man. And this what happens, you know what I mean? You get the YN package, the TK package. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Lil Webby refused to introduce his children to Lil Boosie. Look, despite them being one of the best hip-hop duos that ever touched the game, they wasn't really the best of friends. It was just business. It was just business. Boosie say, Webby say, it wasn't personal. He was just trying to keep his kids away from the music business, anything commercial, you know what I mean? He didn't want them around it, didn't even want to listen to his own music while the kids was around and focus on being a kid. Look, shout out Webby, he was a real father, you know what I mean? A lot of people try to dissect this like, oh, maybe they wasn't really friends. Maybe you wasn't, bro. Just because you get money with a nigga, bro, it has to separate. After we leave a job, my nigga, or whatever job we may be doing, you go your way, I go mine. You know what I mean? Point blank period. When we get back together, we're cool. You can't confuse things, mix business with personal. It never works. Drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real, bro. I look at him like, you know what? That was a good nigga. Shout out Lil Webby, man. Shout out Savage. Eddie Murphy never auditioned for a movie role in Hollywood. Never. You know what I mean? The only thing that man ever auditioned for was Saturday Night Live. Other than that, whatever he wanted, whatever script he wanted was at his fingertips. He had his choice, bro. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. You know what I mean? If he chose to do it, another nigga just be out of a job. It wasn't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He was the only actor, he is the only actor in history to ever move in such a fashion. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. It ain't nobody like Eddie Murphy. Now, he recently lied about when he said he didn't do drugs, and then it started, I used to pop Percocets, nigga. You used to do Percocets, meaning you used to do some pretty strong drugs. You know what I mean? But get what? It ain't nothing, you know what I mean? It didn't add to his, well, it might have added to his funny, because, you know, a fucked up nigga is hilarious. You know what I mean? People love it. You know what I mean? That's why people drown themselves in the liquor before they gotta go do their thing. Shout out Eddie Murphy, bro. Drop it in the comments. Scores from the playground. Oskino Vasquez throwing shots at Gilly the Kid. He say he's a jealous, insecure, certified fucking hater with an ugly man syndrome. He say, yeah, the man been ugly his whole life. He never had shit. So when he got it, he started being too much. You know what I mean? Too much. You know what I mean? On top of that, he say he let Benny Siegel whoop him in the street, didn't even fight back, only to fast forward and interview the guy. You know what I mean? Say, bro, that nigga's a super pussy. On top of that, he's on Meek Mill nutsack. You know what I mean? Yeah, he say that's the only reason they got problems. And on top of that, he say, when he told Joey Badass, when I see a YN popping, I don't want to do nothing to help him because he might take my job. He say, bro, what kind of shit is that, bro? You supposed to be giving back. You know what I mean? Yeah, paying it forward. You know what I mean? So to say. Look, drop it in the comments, man. This shit ain't going nowhere. Just being honest, just being real. Oskino Vasquez is on everybody's ass. He took Charleston White job. Ben 10 assaulted a female fan for not listening to NBA YoungBoy. In fact, she went a little step further than that. She pulled up jamming NLE Chopper, NLE the Great. He say, bro, turn that shit down or I'm gonna bat you in your shit. Now, all this is on camera. When she didn't turn it down, he did just that. He battered her in her shit. Now, a lot of people gonna laugh at it. You know, I kind of chuckled a little bit, but come on, bro. This is the same nigga that just got whooped by NBA YoungBoy for sitting on his clothes, fam, for putting a wrinkle in his concert attire and didn't fight back. You know what I mean? He say the nigga beat him up all under the car. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Where's that energy for the niggas, bro? You nigga ain't never seen you whoop nothing, not with your hands. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest, bro. There's always some pistol play when it come to nigga. But when it comes to woman, you want to slap. Man, it's super weak. Drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Look, Ty Dolla $ign ignored valuable advice from Kanye West. Look, Kanye said he had a great idea for him. Open up a Thai restaurant, call that bitch Thailand. You know what I mean? The nigga sent back laughing emojis and say, nah, I'm good on that one. Look, he say, bro, this ain't no joke. You don't even comprehend the situation, bro. I'm giving you a blueprint and a new way, rewarding path in life. The man say he just didn't want to deal in food. You know what I mean? Look, bro, Ye say, so you just gonna spit the nigga face. No thank you or nothing. Okay. You know what I mean? Look, bro, that was like the dumbest thing ever. Why? Because anybody, simplicity is key, bro. When you could think of something like that, especially when your name is Ty Dolla $ign, ooh, you gonna make the whole hood get interested in Thai food. Nigga, you ain't got to be cooking it. You know, just be honest, man. Drop it in the comments. That was dumb, bro. Not somebody's gonna take the idea and make Killions from it. You know what I mean? Look, big homie CC filing a defamation lawsuit against Jaguar Wright. Not just Jaguar Wright, he ain't stopping there. He say he filed one against real life street stars too. He's tired of the bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, he say they been playing on his name, playing on his top for the longest. On top of that, he say Jaguar Wright call him 50 to 100 times a day, borderline harassment. He's tired of the bullshit. He's filing a lawsuit. Look, bro, you supposed to be a street nigga, fam. You know what I mean? You supposed to be a street nigga, bro. On top of that, you're a YouTube, bro. All you do is talk shit. You know what I mean? When Busta Rhymes sue you for all the bullshit you said about him, then you go file a lawsuit. All this, I'm gonna file a lawsuit. I'm gonna file. No. Use your mouthpiece to fight back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that again. Use your mouthpiece to fight back. You know what I mean? You're part of a different type of organization now. You know what I mean? Meaning, just like you thought all the other niggas public property, you are too. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. That shit weak. Sauce Walker opened his 4th dispensary in Houston. You know what I mean? The nigga is winning. You know what I mean? He's winning, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. He's cornering the market. On top of that, he's cornering every side of Houston. And he's giving away free weed. Now, at first, he was doing strip club and all the other bullshit. Nigga ain't worried about none of that. Nigga don't want nothing he can't touch. When you start selling and marketing real products to the modern man, you start winning. This is a business that ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere, bro. Trump has already reclassified marijuana, and it's getting closer and closer to legalization. Meaning, if you invest in a tree in a state like Texas, you're gonna eventually win. And when I say win, I mean win. Like, ooh, you gonna win, my nigga. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. When it's salutable, we gotta salute it. Shout out Sauce Walker, fam. And they're gonna come in there and get that LB bag. How much is that? Drop it in the comments, man. It's cost from the playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.
Look, Finesse2tymes throwing shots at Roy Wave. Look, he say he's a fat bastard. You know what I mean? He actually called him a fat bitch, but we don't condone bullying on this platform. You know what I mean? Look, he recently called out J. Prince Jr. for stopping his feature with Big Extra Plug. Big Extra Plug called him, lied to him. He say now he has the paperwork. It was really off Big Extra Plug word. You know what I mean? He controls his management. He told the management, don't put it out. You know what I mean? Look, he got smoke with him. Yeah, he got smoke with him. He say he's taking back his apology. Yeah, he's not apologizing to J. Prince Jr. for wanting out of that Maltese contract, but yeah, he's taking back his apology to Roy Wave, and he got smoke with him. You know what I mean? Roy Wave, just stand clear of this guy. You know what I mean? Stand clear of him, because he might do something to you. I'm just being honest, just being real, man. Look, Dave Chappelle partied with Nipsey Hussle in Atlanta. He talked about it on his new stand-up, Unstoppable Nigga. Everybody should go check that out. I implore everybody to go check that out. I don't really even like stand-ups, but this stand-up was really hilarious and very entertaining. Well, look here. He say he met Nipsey. He was with T.I.P. He asked him, man, who is your friend? He introduced himself, man, I'm Nipsey. You know what I mean? He say, look here, bro. They had a wild night. It wasn't no Diddy party type fun, nothing like that, but they tore the town up. You know what I mean? That night, he say Nipsey was like a old, young OG. Could answer any question, had an answer for everything like a fortune cookie. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said he always remembered them. Shout out Nipsey Hussle, fam. Shout out Dave Chappelle. This is some shit like, this is history. Drop it in the comments, man. It's Scars from the Playground. Look, Lil Boosie throwing shots at Kodak Black. He said the man is waited a day before he had to go to court to drop a whole diss track, bro. He said it's some clown shit, man. He said it's not gonna make the people like his music any less. He said his career's over. He's only relevant when he speaks on Boosie or YB. Boosie or YB.
Look, bro, he said the song is trash. This is what I gotta say, bro. I disagree. I disagree. Um, that nigga just getting started. You know what I mean? Like, if your personal feelings and your emotions can keep you from going listen to that motherfucker and thinking that this man is done with, that's you, fam. But your numbers don't lie. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. When it comes to bullshit and Kodak Black and hip hop, Kodak Black is definitely more relevant when it comes to the music. Drop it in the comments, man. And I like Boosie. I like him, but we just telling the truth. Just being honest, just being real, man. Drop it in the comments. Cars from the playground. NBA YoungBoy collaborated with Miley Cyrus. Yeah, she just did a feature with him. She was posted up in the studio with him, but I'm pretty sure it was just a picture right there, fam. Once YB get the spazzing out, he's better left alone. Yeah, I want to say that again. Once YB get the spazzing out, he's better left alone. Once he get the screaming and doing all that auto-tune, and this ain't the dragging. I like YB. That's what people don't understand, bro. People think when you say something about somebody, you don't like him. This ain't what that is, bro. This is just that their collaboration will, you know what, I don't even, YB is trying to be more commercial. But that doesn't mean you have to go fuck with country artists and do all this other type of shit, bro. You just gotta find a way to be more creative within your own. If you're still gonna talk about pistol packing on everything, who does it matter? Well, what does it really matter, bro? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Look, How She Sends You released the I Done Swung remix with Pow Wow. Look, and it ain't just Pow Wow. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You got Ty Harris on there, Smoothie, Doro, and Charlie Boy. You know what I mean? Man, this song is fire, bro. Bro really made a Texas anthem, and he is from New Orleans. You know what I mean? How She Sends You, wherever you're from. And I'm kind of late, my nigga. I'm kind of late. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I didn't jam this song so much within the past few weeks, my nigga. I'm definitely added to the stream revenue. You know, let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. For a lot of people that don't know him, you got to go check this out, especially if you from Texas. But this song isn't localized, bro. This song is just dope. It's something like Celebrate the Line with Big Crit and Zero and a lot of Slim Thug power. It's dope, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. But drop it in the comments if you've heard it. If not, I implore you to check it out. The Glorilla debut album, Glorious, is certified platinum, fam. That means it's sold over 1 million units in the United States alone, fam. It's officially eligible for RIAA certificate, platinum certificate. Make sure you say the platinum. You know what I mean? Platinum certification. Now, once you get a platinum album, it's really real for you. You know what I mean? And it's already been real for. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. And drug her to the dirt about how she look, really. When you get the money on, you could spend that on how you want to, fam. Why would you still give people a chance to take shots at you? If you want some shit changed, get it changed. I'm all for it, bro. But this is about the music. Sis killing it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. She's killing it since she FREE for nigga free, man. She's been killing it. Shout out Glorilla. Benzino throwing shots at Eminem. He compares Eminem to Aiden Ross. He said they both call black women bitches and make whole songs about it. You know what I mean? Look, bro. He got, I like Eminem. I like him. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But if you've heard the song, it was a little much. It was a little much. A nigga would put Eminem in the headlock and make him explain that. You know what I mean? That's all. It seems like Benzie don't want to know, why would you create something like that? Go ahead and it's podcast time. Interview season, bro. Yeah, inquiring minds want to know still about that Eminem shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You can't just be a yes man and just say, oh, we just gonna forget about it. Look, how Aiden Ross did Dolce, disgusting. You know what I mean? Even if you can't get to him like Scrappy Doo, at least you could spit on him. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Lil Boosie sentenced to 300 hours of community service. 300 hours of community service for this federal gun case in California. He went to San Diego court to figure out his fate. You know what I mean? The prosecutors were seeking 2 years imprisonment and 3 years of supervised release. Bruh got off on 300 hours of community service and a $50,000 fine. You know what I mean? That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. This is kind of weird considering that Charleston White had this whole campaign where he was like, bro, you either gonna tell or you gonna go to jail. You know what I mean? Bro don't even need the presidential pardon anymore unless he just want to save a little time and a little money. You know what I mean? Dude is scot-free. I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for it, bro. Celebrities got to protect themselves. Yeah, their trophies. Why wouldn't you pack a pistol? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Jadakiss throwing shots at Jay-Z. He say the man is a professional curver. Now, Fat Joe had it told him. Jay-Z expressed love for the show. He said the show is even better when it's just Fat Joe and Jadakiss on there. You know what I mean? No guests. He loved it. You know what I mean? It was a potential Jay-Z interview coming soon. You know what I mean? Well, Fat Joe broke the news to Jadakiss. Jadakiss say, man, that man is a professional curver. Oh, y'all pretty good. Oh, blah, 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 blah. See y'all later. Good luck. He's not moved by it. You know what I mean? You can't be these days, bro. People just give you hope. Give you hope. Give you hope. And it never amounts to nothing, fam. If the show is so good, go ahead and request the interview now. You know what I mean? Well, what the fuck are we really waiting on? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You busy? We all are. You know what I mean? Housewives are the busiest. Let's just be honest, fam. Drop it in the comments, bro. If you know, you know. If you don't, shame on you. Diddy presidential pardon was denied by Trump. He said he ain't for it. You know what I mean? He didn't want to hear it. Yeah, 50 Cent say he feel a little guilty because he might have swayed Trump to just go the other way and look to the left for the right, but for the right cause. But denied. Diddy will have to spend his time in there unless the appeal goes true. For a lot of people don't understand, fam, there's a lot of people rocking with Diddy right now, not because of they were paid and they feel bad for him. No, it's because the law wasn't, I'm trying to be politically correct, man. The law wasn't justified, man. 50 months for providing transportation to participate in prostitution. You know what I mean? It's a little excessive. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, man. Drop it in the comments. J. Cole, the Fall Off album, delayed until further notice. That's what they saying, fam. But let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Cole never announced an album was coming out. You know what I mean? Fans just thought it was a surprise from some announcement that some guy made. You know what I mean, bro? Until you hear from the horse's mouth, don't believe everything you hear. Now, whether or not the album is coming out or not, we don't know. It's yet to be seen. Like I said, until he says something about it. Now, will it be the biggest promotion? Probably not. He's not that type of artist. He's gonna shock the world when he do, but I'm gonna tell you like this. When it comes to Jermaine Cole, when it's time, and you'll know. You know what I mean? It's just like that, fam. When it's time, and you'll know. Even the people around him, Boss, Jid, people like that, they gonna start talking about it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some chow. But until you hear a little chow, don't bother, fam. Just being honest, just being real. Shout out J. Cole, fam. Just squash on the playground. Look, Drake forced to change his Iceman album title. Look, the Iceman ain't working no more. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. With all this shit going on with Ice and this man being from a different country, or like Kendrick Lamar, K-Watt fan would say, not like us, you know what I mean? Yeah, the whole ice shit ain't working. Let's just be honest, man. And I'm kind of glad for him that he didn't put out the CD because it would have been attributed to some other shit. You know what I mean? That man don't mean nothing like that. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drake, go ahead and get in front of this shit. You know what I mean? Go on, tell him that that choice B, because everybody got a choice A and a choice B of what they gonna go for. You not the Iceman. Yeah, fuck all that. Yeah, I know he means some other shit, but the title is just not sticking right now. People not fucking with it. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. He's forced to change that title, or guess what? That album gonna fail. You know what I mean? Just point blank period, but just being honest, just being real, man. Look, Finesse2tymes throwing shots at Rod Wave. Look, he say he's a fat bastard. You know what I mean? He actually called him a fat butt bitch, but we don't condone bullying on this platform. You know what I mean? Look, he recently called out J. Prince Jr. for stopping his feature with Big Extra Plug. Big Extra Plug called him, lied to him. He say now he has the paperwork. It was really off Big Extra Plug word. You know what I mean? He controls his management. He told the management, don't put it out. You know what I mean? Look, he got smoke with him. Yeah, he got smoke with him. He say he's taking back his apology. Yeah, he's not apologizing to J. Prince Jr. for wanting out of that Maltese contract, but yeah, he's taking back his apology to Rod Wave, and he got smoke with him. You know what I mean? Rod Wave, just stand clear of this guy. You know what I mean? Stand clear of him, because he might do something to you. I'm just being honest, just being real, man. Delonte West is officially 30 days sober. He entered a rehab facility, and he's cleaning it up. Some people know him, some don't. He's an ex-Cleveland Cavaliers player that played for LeBron James. After his career ended in the NBA, he's got to the street shit. You know what I mean? You got strung-eyed. You got strung-eyed. Every time you see him, it's delayed. Look, it's Delonte West. He spits shining windows and headlights and all type of other shit. Well, look here, bro. He's cleaning it up, officially kicking 2026 off right. You know what I mean? Look, bro, it ain't never too late for nobody. This is how you get a testimony. That's what people don't understand, fam. Like, oh, he was a druggie, though. Yeah, most of them are. That's what she don't even know, bro. It's just that you get to see that with your own eyes. You know what I mean? You can't miss that. That man been living on the streets and loving it, despite people been trying to help him. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out to Delonte West. No cap throwing shots at Honeykomb Brazy. He said the nigga think he's really a tough guy because somebody always shooting at him. He say ain't nobody ever taught you to buzz back, stupid, doofus. You know what I mean? Look, ain't no average nigga live a life where he ducking gunshots. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. On top of that, he say the man is compromised. He ain't nothing but a mobile crash out. You know what I mean? Mobile crash out that allegedly plays with punks. He's in the arts games. You know what I mean? That's why you ain't never seen him with no woman. You did for that one day, but he hired her on some love don't cost a ting type shit. You know what I mean? Look, bro, you can't be a gangster just because somebody trying to get you all the time. That means you do fuck nigga shit. That's what people got to learn, bro. If you got to live a life where I'm going to live by it and die by it, that means you on some fuck nigga timing. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Honeykomb Brazy throwing shots at Rollo Rodriguez. A lot of people don't know him, but he was on that one ESTG song, Go Hard 2, one of my favorite records. Drop it in the comments if you know it. Lil Baby was on it too. That bitch fire, you know what I mean? But look here. He say Lil Baby held him hostage for over 10 years, man. He say he was around millions of dollars and done nothing with the connections. What, you gonna wait till 40? Like, you niggas hell, you know what I mean? He's right, but you have to understand, bro, everybody you around ain't trying to give you something, you know what I mean? They expect for you to just have it, and that's what attracted them to you because they felt like you didn't need him. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. No. Rollo isn't hell. The people you around that's hell because you don't think you'd have to ask for anything, fam. If you got it like you're saying, you supposed to be your brother's keeper. I ain't supposed to have to ask you for a motherfucking thing. And if I do, we're not as cool as I thought. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments. Adam22 throwing shots at Sauce Walker. Look, Sauce Walker has officially became a streamer. You know what I mean? Albert, MC Gusto, he does everything, bro. A little bit of everything. He's always been a talker, so you would think that he'd be a natural at this shit. But look here, Adam22 say he ain't built for that life. It won't work out for him. You know what I mean? Look here, bro. Once you get past the day and anything you are trying to do, that first day, once you get past that first day, the next ones become easier. You know what I mean? It's very easier. After 30 days, let's just really say 10,000 man hours. You know what I mean? If we're just being honest, if we're just being real, you become official, fam. All you got to do is keep going. So what Adam22 is talking about is some bullshit. Plus, Sauce Walker has responded. He say, bro, you the type of nigga that let other men plow your wife for money. You're desperate for it, bro. Yeah, I'm just doing something because I want to, fam. I think it's fun. Fetty Wap has been released from prison on good behavior. Yeah, the man was supposed to be released somewhere in 2027, but around September 2025, and the shit just kept getting bumped up. I don't know what was going on in there, but he wasn't on his knees. Turns out, bro, it was good behavior and fan petitions. You know what I mean? He was just trying to move a little weed. Yeah, a lot of people say he ruined his career for some dope money, but you got to understand, fam, they wasn't paying him like you think, despite pretty much owning the charts for that little period of time. You know what I mean? 1738. Look, shout out Fetty Wap. He's bike. People say, bro, leave the internet alone. Get straight back to that studio. Niggas want to see what that first day I'd be back. You know what I mean? You're only as good as your next biggest hit, man. Don't ever fucking forget that. And this is for anybody, whatever kind of art you are producing. Kendrick Lamar has been nominated for 5 iHeart Music Radio Awards, fam. 2026. Look, Hip Hop Song of the Year, Best Collaboration, Hip Hop Artist of the Year. Look, this is 5 nominations, man. This is kicking off 2026. It's gonna be a big year. You watch. Bro already nominated for what? 9 Grammys, some shit like that, some obscene amount of Grammys. Oh yeah, it's crazy, fam. It's crazy. All he got to do is put out a project, keep going. Yeah, keep going, and don't do another GNX, nigga. Don't go at Drake. Nobody wants to hear it until we hear Iceman and we see if Drake dissing him. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna be all type of subs on that bitch. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drake ain't giving up. Round 2 will start whether you like it or not. Man, I think it's gonna be kickoff in March Madness. You watch. Kodak Black released a Lil Boosie diss track Christmas Eve. Look, bro, he say grown man don't play jit games. You know what I mean? Calling somebody a snitch or implying that somebody is working with snitches is grounds for termination. He say Boosie is super pussy and he doesn't move like an OG, fam. He's only mad because he wouldn't sign to him. You know what I mean? He couldn't sign him, so he's holding a grudge about that. You know what I mean? Look, Boosie, he real strong with the snitching shit, but let's just be honest, let's just be real. He didn't do Thugger as bad as he tried to do Kodak Black, man. That's selective politicking, fam. You can't be moving like that. If you're going to be all in, you got to be all in. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. The diss track is fucking fire. Shout out Kodak Black, fam. Ray J hospitalized in Las Vegas for a serious case of pneumonia. Yeah, for a lot of people, they think this pneumonia is bullshit. Look, my grandmother, R.I.P. Elstyrene Jackson, died of pneumonia, fam. This is very serious. In 2021, Ray J was diagnosed with a non-COVID pneumonia.
almost killed him. You know what I mean? On top of all the pharmaceuticals and the liquor. Body can't take it, man. They had to put him on oxygen and some more shit. Well, they had to rush him to the hospital. He was having heart pains and a serious case of pneumonia. Right now, they don't know what's going on with him, but he appears to be okay for now. You know what I mean? But keep him in your hearts if you really fuck with Ray J. For you that don't fuck with him, you don't want to see nobody go like this. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ray J. I know we talk shit about him, but he's entertaining. Drop it in the comments, man. Finesse2tymes throwing shots at G Herbo. His feelings was hurt because G Herbo was laughing at him. Like, what do you expect, nigga? You really think niggas are laughing with you? Niggas are laughing at you because you are a clown, bro. But look, his feelings was hurt, so he didn't just stop at G Herbo. He threw Ari Fletcher in there. Yeah, little Sugar look better than Ari and all that other type of shit. You know what I mean? Look here, man. Leave the women alone, bro. Leave it alone, you know what I mean? And if we just being honest, Sugar's a whore. You know, she's a whore, fam. You can't compare a whore to a woman, man, a housewife. How can you, bro? That's what it shows your ignorance, fam. That you would ever think you could compare the two. Get the fuck out of here. Finesse2tymes with the bullshit. But now you asking for it, because now you got G Herbo and Moneybagg Yo ready to get on your goddamn ass. You know what I mean? You're not untouchable, man. Plus, J Prince Jr. wants you for talking shit. Look, Kanye West's Bully album is going platinum. Platinum, fam. You know what I mean? I'm calling this before the album even dropped, considering it has over 500,000 pre-saves already, fam. And we were a month away, less than a month away from this album actually dropping. Look, we've all heard the little snippets, man. All he got to do is deliver, bro. You're only as good or as big as your next hit. I don't want no artists out there, musicians, or any artists. You're only as good as your next piece, man. You can't hold on to what you did way back when forever. You have to keep creating. If you can't do that, you gotta get out the way. Look, Ye cleaned up his act. He stopped fucking with Dave Blunts. The music is sounding good. Bully is going platinum. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores from the playground. 6ix9ine was placed in solitary confinement within 24 hours of stepping foot in a metropolitan detention center in Brooklyn. Why? For his own fucking safety. It wasn't for behavioral reasons. The man was acting good. Your Danny Hernandez is a good little boy. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. So no. It wasn't for that. It was for his own safety. Next thing you know, it's gonna be in PC. Look, the nigga's gonna be out in April. You have nothing left to prove, sir. You know what I mean? Nigga, no, you can't just get down and survive among men. So don't even try, bro. They gonna whoop you. Yeah, they gonna whoop you. That was snitches get stitches. Yeah. In that world, for sure. In this new free world, yeah, they ain't really just tripping on it. They let you ride with it. But in there, oh, you a target. Yeah. You see what happened to Tory Lanez, and he ain't even snitch. He just had some celebrity. A$AP Rocky released Punk Rocky. That Punk Rocky is lackluster for him. You know what I mean? That's lackluster. It's like if it was Ice Spice or something like that, it'd be cute. But that shit bubblegum, bro. Let's just call it what it is. Keeping it real ain't hating. Look, bro, you done kept the fans waiting for far too long to put out this old bubblegum. You know what I mean? Now, it's a good record, but it's lackluster and it is lazy, fam. Punk Rocky. Man, come on, my nigga. And that's him telling you what he is without telling you. They put that shit in your face and try to play with it. Come on, and then your older fans way more than that. I'm gonna tell you like this, that Don't Be Dumb album, it better be good. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it like that. It better be good. If that bitch is trash, lackluster, basura, garbage, man, you could take that shit to hell with you. I'm just being honest, just being real. Shout out A$AP Rocky though. I like him. Shannon Sharp interviewed Mike Epps on Club Shay Shay. Look, which is kind of crazy because they were supposed to get down not too long ago. But if you know anything, bro, you know that wasn't about shit. Plus, Mike Epps wasn't gonna fight him. He said them young guys were gonna get on his arse. You know what I mean? Look, drop it in the comments, bro. That's interesting, but it's funny that he went to Club Shay Shay and brought up old Cat Williams. Let us tell you about Cat Williams and Kevin Hart, beefing with Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart got that syndrome, that celebrity syndrome, like I'm bigger than you now, and started ignoring him. He said it got to him. At least he's honest, bro. It's a nice interview, but it ain't gonna do nothing like that Cat Williams interview. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Mike is cool, but what Mike know is the podcast is the way to go, fam. You better make right with Shannon Sharp, because guess what? You don't get these many a chance like this too often, fam. Let's just be honest. It's Mike Epps. You're good, but you know what I mean? It's always there, but drop it in the comments, man. It's Cars from the Playground. Vivian Foreign purchased a diamond-encrusted movie theater chain, fam. A necklace. Look, this piece is a showpiece. This piece is dope, bro. Why? Because everybody get the same type shit. Yeah, everybody thinks they get the same type shit. So it's cool to see a nigga thinking differently with his money on. Look, when you open it up, a movie actually plays. You know what I mean? Actually plays. Now, how much could this piece actually cost? Because you know what? It can't get wet. Ain't no way for it to be waterproof. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. How you clean this motherfucker? It's problems with the chain. A lot of people call it corny. But look here, bro. When you make the money, you can have fun with it. You know what I mean? That's a piece that you don't wear every fucking day anyway. That's just a statement piece. You know what I mean? Real shit. My life is a movie. Look. You know what I mean? Shout out Vivian Foreign. Plus, he checking in the rehab. DJ Academics throwing shots at J. Cole. Look. Word on the block, word on the street, is Jermaine Cole is putting out an album Friday. Yeah, Friday, no promotion. This is how Jermaine does it, fam. This is how J. Cole gets down. Well, look, DJ Academic say, yeah, put it out. I need some more sleeping material. But you have to understand, DJ Academics got in the game by covering Chicago drill. And we're not talking about the music, fam. He's not a music guy. He's not a hip-hop head. Despite listening to music and thinking he understands it, he's not from here, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. J. Cole is a rap god, one of the best in the game. You know what I mean? One of the best in the game. A lot of people think about Drake, Kendrick, bro. It's thousands of people that you're missing. You know what I mean? And J. Cole is one of them 10 that you gotta know. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out J. Cole. Shiesty exposed by Memphis goons for being a studio gangster, fam. They say that man was in protective custody. Never made it to the yard, fam. There's 23-hour lockdowns. You know what I mean? Real shit. All because he wanted to stay safe. Say when he was around the people, they asked him, are you 5? Or are you just rapping? Like, for you that don't know what 5 means, that means, nigga, are you red? Or are you with the blood on me or not? Man say he was just a rapper. They made him stand up to eat his fucking child. Look, bro, I don't know what y'all think, bro. The real gangsters are dead or in jail. And when I say in jail, I mean forever. They're not gonna get out on some type of loophole. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But the nigga always told you what he was. If you take something from him, he gonna get it back in blood. Real niggas don't get nothing took from him. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Then throwing shots at T.I. He reposted a clip from his comedy special. He said, let's just be honest, champ. Let's just be real. It ain't as easy as it looks. You know what I mean? They say T.I. bombed it. They say that man is terrible, fam. Terrible. But I'm going to tell you like this, bro. As you continue to do things, bro, and you put your man hours in, you will get better. Better. You think we started off fire in the studio? And you got to learn how to put that shit together. That's with everything in life. You know what I mean? Shout out Tip Harris. Because this is how you build you a story, fam. So when you finally see that he got it and it's good, you know he got it honest. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Shout out Tip Harris. I'm all for a nigga trying new things, bro. You can't say that man is just a rapper. That's just what got him the bag. A bag, not the bag. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Mayweather throwing shots at the NBA YoungBoy. Look, bro, she say, that nigga giving hoes money to buy jewelry and take them shopping and shit, but still ain't helped her with the little boy birthday party. You say, who helped her? Her daddy. I know it looked like she got it, but she say it ain't about that. It's about you helping do for your son. What kind of nigga travels to a state his son's in and doesn't come see him? You know what I mean? Look, bro, more women gotta speak up like this, bro. Why? You gotta hold a nigga accountable. Yeah, just being honest, just being real. You gotta hold a nigga accountable. That way, when he's in the same state as his fucking son, he got a lot of kids, 11 kids. When he's in the state of his son, go see the boy. Like she said, it hurts his feelings. Now, I don't like to get in a nigga business like this, but your business is show business. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. Do what you gotta do. If you gonna father the kids, you gotta father the kids. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Max B denies snitching allegations. The man, let's tell it. Let him tell it. He got out on a loophole. This happened, and he did this crooked, and you're lying. You know what I mean? Your brother told it, and your brother told the truth, bro. You got that main time. You know what I mean? Why wasn't it on the record? Why wasn't it? It's because it didn't have to be on a record, fam. You told them where to find a witness. The witness gave them everything they needed to place the other guy at the scene and take you out of it. You know what I mean? It's a deal, nigga. Everything ain't gonna be in the paperwork. Show his paperwork. Show his paperwork. It's gonna come out. Get it some time. You know what I mean? They're gonna let you get so big before they take the rug from under you. Yeah, that's why Whack 100 chilling on him. You know what I mean? It ain't because he cool with French Montana and none of that shit. Bro, nigga gonna let you get so big and talk your shit before they pull the rug from under you. So you get the money on while you can. Because your 15 seconds almost up, nigga. Zeno throwing shots at Aiden Ross. He's demanding a public apology for Dolce. That beautiful black queen, mother of the earth, queen of the universe type shit apology. He wanted 9. He say that boy is a demon and a culture vulture. Bro, I kind of agree with him. Yeah, I kind of agree with him, bro. He was calling her a black bitch. A black bitch. Really, fam? Where on earth has anyone ever taught you that was right, bro? Not in the suburbs, not in the hood. You know wrong is wrong, fam. Plus, Dolce ain't never did nothing to you, bro. Why does it matter if you think she done elevated up the charts the wrong way, bro? If you want to go at Kendrick Lamar, go at Kendrick Lamar. You ain't go at him hard enough, you will get the response you so desire, bro. I promise. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. 100 ended the feud between Aiden Ross and Dolce. Look, Aiden Ross called him. He put an end to it just like that. You know what I mean? Like you say, TDE or businessman. They ain't gangsters, bro. They ain't trying to get gangster Willie and Gully with him. You know what I mean? This is a kid. That's SOF capital T, soft. You know what I mean? Real shit. He's beefing with a woman. Shout out Dolce, because she handled it like a real woman, despite this man calling her a black bitch. Look, Whack 100 say he's already signed the paperwork. He's donating $100,000 to black businesses. And this isn't to save face with the black community. It's because it's really in his hot. Look, the dude is a nice kid, bro. Sometimes all it takes is a conversation. You can't threaten everybody and think you're going to have your way with it. It just ain't working like that, bro, especially in this day and age, man. Streamers think they are untouchable. Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Donnie McClurkin facing disturbing allegations. That's Mr. We don't get up, but we fall down. But we get up, facing disturbing allegations, bro. It turns out the church ain't where you want to go to find the best people. They're hiding within them walls. Look, one of his mentors speaking out. He began to be mentored by this guy in 2003. Everything happened in 2003. Weirdly, I got a lot of stories from 2003 today. But look here, bro. He said Donnie McClurkin told me you were gonna pray the gay out of him. You know what I mean? During them sessions, things escalated. He went on to be like a traveling sex pet. Went on tour with him, went everywhere with him. You know what I mean? Look here, bro. Donnie McClurkin, get in front of this. This is a newly filed lawsuit in the Supreme Court. It isn't going nowhere, bro. I'm obliged to believe it. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Drop it in the comments. Baby Keem headlining the New York Governor's Ball. You know what I mean? Look, bro, music festival. Obviously, it's in New York. A$AP Rocky is going to be there. Mariah the Scientist. The Clips, Freddie Gibbs. Some people call him Spready Gibbs, but we like to have respect on this channel. So since we're doing that, we're going to call him by his real name, Freddie Gibbs, because the boy can rap. Him and the Alchemist going to be there, and many more. It's going down June 5th, bro. They say, fans say an album announcement is expected. You know what I mean? That's inevitable, as they would say. Let's see. He hasn't put out a project in since 2021. That's 5 years. He ain't put out a project in 5 years, but he is the cousin of K-Dot. It's just a little secret family recipe before all the slammers begin a-rolling. You watch, bro. Drop it in the comments. Shout out Baby King. Kendrick Lamar collaborator Young Threat arrested for murder in Los Angeles, fam. For murder and attempted murder. They got that man on a $4 million bond. Look, what did y'all expect, bro? Kendrick went and found some real LA niggas to hop on that GNX, fam. He used he used my boy recipe. Can't think of his name. Can't think of his name, bro. Drop it in the comments, bro. I can't think of that Ham Diddy Bop Bop. You know what I mean, bro? I can't think of a real name, bro. But yeah, he used that recipe, bro. What did y'all expect? These people are doing. Look, once a nigga throw you a bone, it's on you to pick up that bone and do something with it. Nigga can't make you eat it. You know what I mean? You got to capitalize off your 15 seconds of fame, which he didn't. He chose to stay in the streets. He didn't see the olive branch the man was extending him. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores from the playground. Lil Durk responds to OTF members testifying against him. Yeah, they're cooperating against Lil Durk. The prosecutors say they got many witnesses that's willing to say that Durk slid for Vaughn. Look, Vaughn sent a cryptic message, which ain't too cryptic. He's quoting Drake's "How About Now." He says, "Funny, you gotta wait till it's dark out to see who really with you." Yeah, bro. You only as good as the money you're blessing people with. Once that money slow up, or it's about somebody losing their freedom, they ain't gonna go to prison for you, bro. Like, when you think it's my brother, you have to understand everybody is for themselves. There is no loyalty among thieves. With that being said, I still think Lil Durk is gonna find a loophole to get out that bitch. He'll be home soon. Mark my words. Drop it in the comments, man. Scores on the playground. 50 Cent in the Club surpassed 2 billion streams on Spotify. Now, this is a milestone that's only been reached by about 300 other songs. Look, bro, this was his lead single on his 2003 album, Get Rich or Die Trying. Now, this is one of them albums, classic, bro. You could jam it from start to finish. I'm going to say that again. From start to finish. This is timeless, man. That's why the numbers are keep increasing. Look, D12 was supposed to get this record. I'm hearing they turned it down. Wasn't for them, but guess what? It was for 50, and he made the best out of it, bro. This shit got him nominated for Best Solo Performance and Best Rap Song, along with the video winning at the MTV Music Awards, bro. Yeah, this song was major for 50. Yeah, it still is. You know what I mean? The video amassed over 2.5 billion views on YouTube. Drop it in the comments. Shout out 50 Cent. 6ix9ine turned himself into the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, the MDC. Same one Diddy was housed at to begin his 3-month
prison sentence. Look, bro violated his probation, parole, whatever you want to call it, when he only had about 6 months left to go. Couldn't leave the drugs down alone. Addiction, man. Yeah, he was in that house alone on house arrest. He was going through it, you know what I mean? But guess what? 3 months, give him just enough time to shake the habit and pull himself together, come back that Daniel Hernandez that everybody remembers, you know what I mean? Right now, I think he left on a good note, bro. Bro revamped his career. He's the same hater he's always been. But guess what? People are talking about him. You know what I mean? If they talk about you good, they talk about you bad. It really don't matter. You just got to be within the conversation. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out 6ix9ine. Eminem track Godzilla featuring Juice WRLD was named as WWE Raw's theme song. Official theme song. They made the announcement during an episode of Raw at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, January the 5th. Look, this is from Eminem's 2020 album, Music to Be Murdered By. You know what I mean? I didn't really just jam the whole album all the way front to back, but what I did jam was hard. Let's just be honest, let's just be real, especially this song. Especially seeing that it was Juice WRLD's first posthumous release following his death, fam. This shit was major. Drop it in the comments for Juice WRLD, bro. Jared had talent, you know what I mean? That man made like $300-400 million within 45 days, bro. He was going places. Drop it in the comments, man. But yeah, this track lives on. Eminem's still alive anyway, but this track lives on, bro. It ain't going nowhere. Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. A$AP Rocky released a new single, Punk Rocky, ahead of his Don't Be Dumb album. Look, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's punk, man. I can't even say it's lackluster because it's a pretty good song, but anybody could have sung it. Let's just be honest. It ain't lackluster. It's lazy, man. Come on, my nigga. You older rap fans. Some real shit, bro. Last time a nigga heard you spit something, that was lackluster. And the highest to lowest film with Denzel Washington, fam. Come on, nigga. Really, A$AP Rocky, Punk Rocky. And I bet the visuals is pretty cool. I'm hearing the video is kind of dope. I think he's dancing on Avril Lavigne. Look, mama, nigga. Come on, man. You both, come on. Come on, man. A$AP Rocky. Are you fucking serious? Look, this album better be slamming, man. If you're just gonna sing and do back vocals the whole time, bro, you can keep it. The Baby announces new album, Be More Grateful, dropping January 16, 2026. Like, I don't really hear about people talking about the Baby no more. You know what I mean? Ever since he got canceled, if that's what you want to call it, fam. But this nigga is an incredible artist. Yeah, this nigga is an incredible artist. You know what I mean? It's potential there. On top of that, he's doing records that mean something to him now. It ain't all about Suge and all that other type of dumb shit he used to rap about, bro. And he just put out a new video with his daughter, twin. Don't insult me. You know what I mean? Don't insult me. I didn't click on it to listen, but I do plan on checking that bitch out at some point. You know what I mean? I'm just guerrilla podcasting and guerrilla grinding, so all my music is very strategic and well crafted right now, you know what I mean? But I'll get around to it. 50 Cent announces the Southwest T Terry Flannery documentary. This is spotlighting Southwest T, spotlighting Terry, you know what I mean? Diving deeper into the BMF legacy. Look, it's scheduled to be released January 16, 2026. I don't think it's going to go as far as Netflix. Why? Because it's just Terry. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Big Meech was the face of the operation. At this point, bro, it's starting to look like that family going through it. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. You're still working with 50? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You must be hurting at this point, bro. The way that nigga did Big Meech, he finished him. You know what I mean? I'm just playing. He's not really finished, but the way he did your brother, fam, where's the fucking loyalty? You the one that really got him buzzed. Even though Big Meech was an idiot,
with all the billboards and shit. You got him arrested with the phone taps, nigga. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Vasquez throwing shots at Charleston White. He said he made Uncle Charlie, Chicken Shit Charlie, the king of the internet, retire. He said he made him quit. Why? He cooked his toast. You know, with the last Say Cheese interview he did, he say it wasn't no coming back for old Chicken Shit Charlie. Now I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. It was a good interview. He's very entertaining, you know what I mean? But it ain't no finishing Charleston White, bro. And even when he said he retired, that's just from Sean Cotton. He's mad at Sean right now. Say Cheese TV, that platform, actually. You know what I mean? But he's still doing interviews with Terrence Gangsta Williams. Unfortunately, they are just lackluster and they don't get as much attention as the other ones. But yeah, that man ain't went nowhere, man. He's just focusing on a bigger bag right now. But trust me, he'll be back once he realizes he's needed. You know, I just being honest, just being real. Shout out to Oskino though. 6ix9ine throwing shots at NBA YoungBoy. Say NBA YoungBoy doesn't own 100% of his musical catalog. He can't own 100% because he's signed to a record label. That's the truth, bro. I know a lot of people don't want to hear from him. They think he's a sucker, a bullshit ass nigga. And he is, you know what I mean, halfway here. But the little Danny in him, Danny Hernandez nigga, he's telling the truth, bro. Yeah, he's telling the truth. He'd say anything right now to get people on his team. But guess what? What he's saying doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. If you got commercial at the end of your name, nigga, know you got a partnership with the company that you're working with. You know, it's just be honest. Let's just be real. Does it matter? No. Why? He's building generational wealth however he can. You know what I mean? You must work with the man. You know what I mean? Shit. Shout out NBA YoungBoy, bro. If you got that much music in you, keep putting it out. You know what I mean? One can't knock him, even if you don't like him. You drop it in the comments, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Look, Triller too legit, throwing shots at Finesse2tymes. Now the man say he can't wait to catch up with him so he could two-piece him. You know what I mean? But then he said something that kind of had me a little confused. He said he gonna turn him around and stick a finger up his arse. Look, bro. Look, bro, that's where you take it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Because, first of all, niggas in Houston say you ain't gonna punch nothing out. They say even a bitch will whoop you. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. But when you start saying shit like that, it lets me know you're not from here. You're not from here, bro. You're too, I don't know where you were locked up at. You know what I mean? You too institutionalized. You know what I mean? You too institutionalized and you saying some old crazy shit, leading me to believe, even though you think you're from there, you're not from here, nigga. I don't even know where you came from. Drop it in the comments, man. Scott's on the playground. Big U, Eugene Hanley, says his breathing machine, his CTP breathing machine, was confiscated while he was in the SHU. For those that don't know what the fuck the SHU is, that's solitary confinement. While he was in there, they raided his cell, took everything, including a breathing machine. He say, for those that don't know, people that require a breathing machine while they sleep can die. Anything can happen. The man ain't got a restful night's sleep since they transferred him to the hole. Look, drop it in the comments. They trying to get rid of him. This how it goes, bro. This why you don't want to do the crime if you can't do the time, because they not going to take care of you once you got all these medical disabilities and disadvantages. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They trying to put that nigga under the jail. But if they can kill him a little faster than that, they'll do that too, bro. Them niggas ain't worried about the buck. Yeah, a little buck they gonna make off of you don't mean that much. The buck that bought the bottle could have struck the lotto. YNW Melly fears for his life in Broward County. He say they have hired a new captain that is giving harsher punishments. Got him in the hole, 24 other inmates, all type of shit going on. He's not comfortable. He's not eating right. He think they gonna try to do something to him. Look, bro, trial starts September 2027. When it starts, he'd be officially in there 8 years. Right now, it's 7. Nigga, either you gonna tell
or you will be in jail. But all that thinking that ain't nobody want to know the truth when they feel like they already know it, that's what's keeping your dumb ass in there, fam. So if you really want out and you really think your life is being threatened, say something. Yeah, say something. Get yourself out the trouble that you put yourself in. Stupid ass nigga. Lil Durk facing life in prison. It's starting to get serious. At least they making it look like that. The prosecutors are saying they got witnesses that's willing to testify that Durk was sliding for Vaughn. Yeah, say he planned and funded the hit on Quando, Rondo himself. Look, they're trying to put Smirkio under the jail. But look, a witness statement don't mean shit, bro. You getting them from common street thugs. Can you really believe them? That's what this comes down to, bro. They done already said they ain't got no evidence on Lil Durk. None, you know what I mean? So yeah, he's facing 30 years, 40 years. Nigga, Willie D was facing 10, 20 years for stealing cell phones. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Durk coming home. Yeah, you watch Durk coming home, and everybody that switched sides on him gonna switch back. You know what I mean? Just being honest, shout out him be a young boy, but this ain't about him. Yeah, this ain't about him. Shout out Smirkio, nigga. Come back, be free. I Show Speed raced a cheetah in South Africa. A fucking cheetah, bro. This bitch could hit 70 miles an hour without breaking a fucking sweat. He raced it, fam. Nah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, to see him running on the side of a cheetah. They released it from the cage, and it's a real life cheetah too. It wasn't AI and all that computer generated type shit. This was real, fam. And fam think he won a race. Now, he didn't win it, but shit. If you ask me, the cheetah barely beat him. You know what I mean? Just be honest. Let's just be real. This is part of his Speed Goes Pro series, where he's challenging various competitors to try to see what his athleticism really is. He believed he could have went pro. Look, he might have can, bro. The nigga fast. He flipping off of bridges and all type of shit. Shout out I Show Speed, bro. This was dope. Skrilla is being dragged by fans for sacrificing animals on New Year's Day. He practiced a religion known as Santeria. Yeah, in Santeria, they cut the heads off of chickens, gut goats, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Stab pigeons, you know what I mean? Dude did all type of shit. Plus, on top of that, they drink it, you know what I mean? Yeah, this nigga is drinking animal blood. And even though I like to call him weird, bro, you don't know people. And whatever it takes for you to believe in to keep you going, it is what it is. It's hella weird. And on top of that, they say the sixth album. They say the shit really demonic. Yeah, I don't get that from that either, bro. But you got to make this shit make sense. You know what I mean? Make it make sense. Shout out Skrilla, because at least he's open and honest about what he's into. Some weird shit. Look, Aiden Ross called the cops on Joe Budden. Look, Joe Budden was threatening Aiden Ross. He said he hoped the Crips get him. Him and Glasses Malone. Well, look here. You got to handle this little Jewish, white, rich kid a little different than you would a regular street gangster, bro. You can't just be sending out terroristic threats like nothing can happen to you. That nigga gonna make you a believer. He's already informed the cops that his life is being threatened. You know what I mean, bro? Drop it in the comments. This is behind Dolce. And the nigga called Dolce a black bitch. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, folk. That's way too far. Way too fucking far. Have you seen How You Learning? He needs his ass whipped. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest, bro. It's too far. You going against a woman, even making a diss song. Shout out Dolce. Keep doing your thing. She ain't no industry plant. Just one of the best female rappers out right now. Just being honest. Just being real.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the jail, it gotta be about business.